Attention, attention. IPOB, one family. This announcement is for those outside of the USA that wish to donate to the Eastern Security Network Fund that is based in the United States. Because of the fees that donators have to pay the bank when sending wires, we recommend that if you're sending less than $250, that you donate through the IPOB USA website. It's fast, simple, and less expensive for you. Go to our website, www.ipobinusa.org/donate. That is www.ipobinusa.org/donate and make your contribution. When it comes to keeping our people safe, every bit counts. After all, the security of our communities is our responsibility. Let's make this happen together.
Yeah, Mr. Bella once again. Wisdom, heal it, come on, get up. Say Biafra will not last forever. They say IPOB no go stand. What did they know? What do they know? What do they see? What do they see? If you give me a gun, I will shoot them aside. If you give me a gun, I will shoot them aside. If you give me a gun, I will shoot them aside. If you give me a gun, I will shoot them aside. If you give me a gun, I will shoot them aside. No, no, no. Biafra will live forever. Biafra.
Justice is coming.
Amanda iyo iyo nuwe nimo nisi idegiri njanye matalo no amanda kire ma wa kuja nyuso wajana amaro wajaga na kiri na kiri abala pani no kaje kana abala kama bano yibala makuri ba giri awuta subu boru bolo mama kundi mauna ba kundi bo baye bando yibali sidakala iyo abala kama bugo na wanemu wana giri abala kaje kana don't fall ya kansa Mario Nigeria yourself how can we succeed? We don't survive. Alakababu gere gere omu so dani ono giri kiri. Aya mo do si ko. Obalowu ba jo mi o. Ono go. Agbari ba jo nu e ni ke lu go ono go. Aya go ya fun o. Na bo si ne be je kiri mo kiri. Oye ti mele je. Abezo kaja kana. Owi na je. Owi na je kiri. Owi na je kiri. Kaja kana. Abalaka bamuna bam, amaguri barambo, giri yo. Gana gana, gana. Amanda iyo nuwa, nemo nisi. Giri, njanye matalo no. Amanda giri ma wa. Wakuja nyuso wajana. Amaro, wajaga na giri. Giri. Abalaka babu geni wanemu. Abala iyo nuwa. Abala nagana.
You must listen to her. Of course, you must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to this live broadcast today. This liberation broadcast, which I am going to do today with a very powerful person in the name of our brother, Pastor Maxwell, is in the house. And today we are going to discuss a lot of things. And of course, this is very unusual because I don't normally come live at this time. So a lot of people may be surprised and asking whether this is live or this is a replay, because we don't normally come live at this point. So what you have to do is to tell others that we are live, and we are live and direct, so they will not miss anything. You are listening on Voice of Biafra 97.5 FM, Voice of Biafra in Biafra land, Enterbiafra, Channel 1, Enterbiafra live streaming app, and on all Enterbiafra platforms. Today we are going to give a very special message to the people of Biafra. And of course, our message is going to focus on civil disobedience, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu release, and of course, the restoration of Biafra. So I'm going to have this opportunity. This is going to be a different broadcast, completely, because I am having our pastor in the house. And on this note, I'm going to bring Pastor Maxwell to come in. Good evening from here, Pastor Maxwell. You're welcome to the program today. Good to have you.
Good evening to you, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Good evening to everyone that is tuned into this very platform, and of course the channel, the FM station, and all the platforms that are being managed and supervised over by your very humble self. Good evening to Biafrans. Good evening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even though he may not hear us, but there is a reverberation. He's a spiritual man. He connects very easily. I am saying a very good evening to him. God bless and strengthen each and every one of us on this path of freedom in the name of Yeshua. Thank you, Mr. Simon, for having me. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Because you are here, I believe it will be very wise if you can, lead us in prayer and bless this platform. For the very first time, I'm asking you to pray for us.
Thank you very much. In the name of Chukwukika, blessed Father in heaven, there is nothing about us that you don't understand before they came into manifestation. You are the God of freedom. You are the God of liberation. When man strayed away from you, you sent your only begotten Son to come and take the place, the punishment and the pains that were meant for such people like us. He died to bring about liberation and freedom, to bring about the reclamation of the sovereign right you give to man over every creation. The same is what we're facing today. You sent Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for that very cause and purpose. He's been held in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria, and you have directed us to embark upon civil disobedience and bring to bear every measure that is so potent to liberate him. Because in liberating him is also in liberating Biafra and liberating every one of us. We have gathered to discuss, to share views, to rub minds together. We pray that you guide us in every of our utterances. Let truth, righteousness, and uprightness prevail in this discussion and interview. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Yeshua HaMashiach, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much, Pastor Maxwell. Before we go forward, I would also like to play just 2 minutes of video.
Okay.
2 minutes of video. So just one moment, please.
It's okay.
In this broadcast today, we are going to call on the politicians in Biafra land to pull out every military formation from Biafra land. We do not want to see military anymore gallivanting and killing people in our villages, in our communities. We will bring this particular war not to the military, but to those who are responsible in bringing those military to them, to our place. So we are today giving notice to the politicians who have now militarized our territory. They have turned democratic process and democratic government into a military dictatorship. They have turned Biafra into a war zone. So we are giving them between now and the 15th of March to pull out military from Biafra land. We are not saying you should leave your barracks. We are not saying, but you must be out of our villages. We do not want to see military operation anywhere in Biafra land, starting from the 15th of March 2022. Starting from the 15th of March 2022, if we see any military going around and burning any houses, we will bring war to those who bring them, not only the military.
27 February 2022. These people, they don't have any other option than to surrender. We know that it's the Fulani herdsmen that are supposed to carry cow, they waka. Now they don't drop the cow, carry gun. Go and kick bazaar. How maka, how naya? Zoological Republic of Nigeria. That's they happen for Russia and Ukraine. So Enterbiafra and Biafra. And boys, a question go other Biafra are dead.
All right, welcome back. That is just a kind of jingle I made out of yesterday's video. Pastor Maxwell.
That's very good.
Yes, I'm gonna allow you now to, because people are coming in now, and I'm going to allow you now to go ahead and tell us the message of the redemption, the message of liberation, the message of hope, the message that you have for us today. So the floor is yours. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, viewers all over the world, Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world, regardless where you are watching from or joining from. I welcome you. I am Pastor Maxwell Ekene Nawihe. I'm the senior pastor of the Gospel's International Appointed Place. I am reaching you all the way from Port Harcourt in Biafra land. I am not going to go into other details about talking about who I am. One thing is very sure. Jesus said, by their fruits you shall know them. I'm not such a man of God that delight or have pleasure in long introductions of himself. Fruits are very important. Fruits are evidence. Nobody can dispute a ripened fruit upon a tree. In leadership, we are looking for fruits. In leadership, anything that has to do with leading the people, we are looking for fruits. Why all of us today are talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is because he has a lot of fruits. He has borne fruits, fruits of freedom, fruits of truth, honesty, dedication, sincerity, and pragmatism. That is why today we are standing in solidarity with him. By the grace of God, not by my power, God has helped me to bear a whole lot of fruits. This is about 6 years I've been doing this very job for our people. Nobody appointed me to do it. God himself anointed me and strengthened me, even though it was against my will, to always stand in the gap as a man of God, as a child of God, as an indigenous person from this part of the world. It's not by accident, for goodness sake. Even if tomorrow my office rises to a higher levels in the ecclesiastical realm, I will never decline. I will never rescind. I will never recant my statements, my prayers, my public opinions with regards to the restoration of Biafra. Straight to the point, because we have a very precise topic at hand: civil disobedience. If you go to my YouTube channel and watch most of the videos that are published there, the Biafran videos and messages dominate every other message I have ever published. I don't know why that is the case, but God himself that calls everyone and ordains everyone knows why it is so. And if you watch each and every one of those videos, if you pay attention very closely without any prejudice, without being biased for any reason, without sentiment, all you will hear and see and watch on your screen is truth. Truth made manifest by a lot of evidences that our people are testifying about today. I didn't come to know Mazi Simon Ekpa on my own. I didn't make a personal effort to reach him. Somebody made that effort. That very person was connected to me by someone else. What is it that I've been bringing people to me from different countries of the world? Is the fruits I have borne. It is the fruit of righteousness and sincerity that I've borne as a minister. Talking about prophecies, talking about messages. Go to my YouTube channel. You will see each and every one of them published there. And then pick each one and do the analysis by yourself to know which of the prophecies or messages I've released that have not come to pass accurately regarding the Biafra restoration, regarding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, regarding the issues of betrayals and sabotage, high-profile sabotage that is taking place today, and such that have taken place even before this very time. The videos are there. They have not been deleted. I don't delete, I don't countercite, I don't recant my statements. I don't contradict my revelations or prophecies. They're there. Straight to the point. Last year, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abducted in Kenya and was subsequently extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya to Nigeria, we got the hint of it. We got the information. It was all over the place in the month of June. In the month of July, I was trying to do a prophetic update of the prophecies I've given so far regarding what I've mentioned some time ago. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra restoration, sabotage, betrayal, the way forward, the countdown to the restoration of Biafra, which as at now is remaining about 1 year plus, almost 1 year plus, or a year at most. As I was giving that very prophetic update on the 1st of July 2021, God spoke to me. I don't know if Mazi Simon Ekpa will allow me to share the screen of that very prophecy. I don't know if that is possible.
Go ahead, man of God. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Let me get that very video that our people may understand that we have come a very long way, a very, very long way in this. This is that very prophecy.
Manning their release.
I'm going to fast forward it, yes?
Prophecy. Power. As God told me, and I told you, that is exactly how it is happening right now, 11 months after this prophecy was released. God gave it to me on the 14th of July. Today is what? I think, yes, today is 1st of July. Almost 1 year. And look at how it is coming to.
This very prophecy that I'm making reference to in this update was given to me in 2020. And it started coming to manifestation with the exit of UCHMFO. A lot of high-profile sabotage that took place even in 2020 and in 2021. On the 23rd of August, 2020, I gave a prophecy in the meeting of the members of IPOB that there will be a major shakeup in the IPOB leadership. That a lot of people, the shakeup is going to lead a lot of people away out of leadership positions. That was on Sunday, the 23rd of August, 2020. That prophecy came to pass before the end of 2020. Mazi George Onyibe, the African rep, was removed. We heard about the resignation of Amaka Ekpo, who was one of the Twitter experts of IPOB, and also the reassignment of the portfolio of Emeka Gift. And then the last straw that broke the camel's back was the exit of UCHMFO. That came to pass. But the very prophecy I was referring to here now captured a whole lot. It is just like a diary. It is just like a book. Each of the minutes, this prophecy was about either 29 minutes or so, the duration of it, that was released about 1 year plus now. Each of the minutes of the prophecy is like when you are reading a book, you open from page.
Pastor, I can't hear you again. I can't hear you again. I think your network is showing red. So, Pastor, we can't hear you again. Your network is showing red. So please check your network again and come back. So we are going to go on commercial as we wait for Pastor to join us again because of this.
Biafra, you must listen to her. Of course, you must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
Today, we are going to call on the politicians in Biafra land to pull out every military formation from Biafra land. We do not want to see military anymore gallivanting and killing people in our villages, in our communities. We will bring this particular war not to the military, but to those who are responsible in bringing those military to them, to our place. So we are today giving notice to the politicians who have now militarized our territory. They have turned the democratic process and democratic government into a military dictatorship. They have turned Biafra into a war zone. So we are giving them between now and the 15th of March to pull out military from Biafra land. We are not saying you should leave your barracks. We are not saying, but you must be out of our villages. We do not want to see military operation anywhere in Biafra land, starting from the 15th of March 2022. Starting from the 15th of March 2022, if we see any military going around and burning any houses, we will bring war to those who bring them, not only the military.
27 February 2022. These people, they don't have any other option than to surrender. We know that it's the Fulani herdsmen that are supposed to carry cow, they waka. Now they don't drop the cow, carry gun. Go and kick bazaar. How much? How many? Zoological Republic of Nigeria. That they happen for Russia and Ukraine. So Hachevia Makana la Biafra. Boys go other Biafra or death.
Right, welcome. We are still waiting for our pastor to come because he has some network issues. So we are waiting for him to join us again. Somebody is already making a comment. Those who are requesting me to make a video on TikTok, I am going to post a video right now. This video you just watched now will be posted on TikTok very soon. But before our pastor rejoin us back, you are just watching a new dimension in the struggle for Biafra. The pastors are now joining. Those who are real pastors are now coming up, and they are being bold enough to come out now. And that is to tell you that Biafra is here. This our pastor, Maxwell, has been, you can see, has been making prophecies about Biafra, and he has been, part of what is going on. But now it is a little bit different. We have a lot of real men of God, coming out now to put their weight behind Biafra struggle. That is to Biafra liberation, because we are out of the struggle. We are now in the liberation phase of this movement. It is to tell you that the Biafra is here. And let me also tell you, those who say that, Pastor, our problem, I have heard, I didn't ask him yet, but I have heard that this particular pastor is observing sit at home on Sunday. I have been told. I have not asked him. It is part of the question I'm going to ask him today. He is observing sit at home on Sunday. Since we begin to talk about sit at home on Sunday, I was told that this pastor you see today is observing sit at home. So hopefully he is going to talk about his sit at home. They say that every Sunday, this man of God close and lock down his church. Every Monday he sit at home. Every Sunday he sit at home. So let us see what, I want him to say it because somebody told me, I am not sure. And again, I have never spoken with this man of God until today. I have never spoken with him. I do not know him. I don't know, until today. And that is how God works. Like he explained, how he connected and all that. It is to show you that the Biafra is here. Before you people will begin to, but anyway, so we are waiting for him. Please, Pastor Maxwell, please come back, fix your this thing and come back, please. We are going to play more, I think, as we are waiting for him to rejoin us, we go on a longer break now. In this broadcast today, we are going to call on the politicians in Biafra land to pull out every military formation from Biafra land. We do not want to see military anymore gallivanting and killing people in our villages, in our communities. We will bring this particular war not to the military, but to those who are responsible in bringing those military to them, to our place. So we are today giving notice to the politicians who have now militarized our territory. They have turned democratic process and democratic government into a military dictatorship. They have turned Biafra into a war zone. So we are giving them between now and the 15th of March to pull out military from Biafra land. We are not saying you should leave your barracks. We are not saying you, but you must be out of our villages. We do not want to see military operation anywhere in Biafra land, starting from the 15th of March 2022. Starting from the 15th of March 2022, if we see any military going around and burning any houses, we will bring war to those who bring them. Not only the military.
27 February 2022. These people, they don't have any other option than to surrender. We know that it's the Fulani herdsmen that are supposed to carry cow, they waka. Now they don't drop the cow, carry gun. Gonna kick bazaar. How maka, how Zoological Republic of Nigeria. That's the happen for Russia and Ukraine. So Hachevia Maka na la Biafra. Boys a Kwechirigo, other Biafra or there too.
From the 15th of this month, if you continue to come and kill our children, kill our women, kill our men and our elderly people, render them homeless, and create IDP camp where there are not supposed to be IDP camp in the 21st century, we are going to bring the war to those who were bringing this military and who ordered them to come to our land. And we know who you are. So we want the politicians between now and the 15th of March to sit up and put Biafra land in order. We don't want to see any kind of chaos anymore in Biafra, except that you want the war to continue in Biafra land after the 15th of this month, and there is no concrete arrangement to pull the military out of our land. We will bring war to
sometimes I start asking myself, why is it that anytime they ask them to go and fight Boko Haram, they will say they don't have bullet, they don't have bomb, they don't have this and that. But if it is a time to fight innocent civilians, they will have bomb, they will have bullet, everything double. Nigeria. Huh? Nigeria more now go north and I think so with the beginner for this time. It doesn't matter how many years it may take to fight this war.
We are calling on the governors, we are calling on House of Assembly members, we are calling on those state executives to come openly before the 15th of March to either exonerate themselves or take responsibility like Robo Zodima have come publicly to say he is the one bringing military in. So his own is that he has made it very clear, and we know how to get to him at the end of the day when the time comes. So we are saying that we are giving the politician and the political leaders of the Southeast between now and the 15th of March to pull military out of Biafra land. Otherwise, we are not just going to take this war to them, we will start from them.
No python dance can stop us. No zoo forces can stop us. We are resolute, we are determined to get Biafra. Sit at home on that particular day. If we see you moving around, you are your own.
Your freedom is in your hands. It is going to be fought inch by inch, block by block. Rooster by rooster. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. Your freedom is in your hands. It is not going to be given to you on a platter of gold. I can assure you here from Washington.
Welcome back. We have our pastor in the house, and we are going to bring him. That was a network issue. Pastor Maxwell, welcome back.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you. It is one of the challenges.
You still can remember where you stopped, so continue.
Exactly, I do. So because of time, I'm going to speak strictly regarding the civil disobedience.
Yes, Pastor, we have for you, this is the first time this is happening, and this is a sign of Biafra. We have all the time in this world today.
Yes.
Except if you don't have the time. It's a different thing.
Thank you very, very much, Mazi Simon Ekpa. So as I was doing the update on that very day, around 12 minutes to 15 minutes into that prophetic update, which you're seeing now on the screen, God spoke to me about the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how to go about it. Now take a listen. It is because the authorities, the people who this message was given to, the specific individuals and groups of people who I mentioned in this prophecy on the 1st of July 2021, failed to carry out the instructions. That is why till today, we are also talking about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's still there. If they had obeyed the instructions that were given through me by the Spirit of God in this video, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been released. Remember, I built a very correct perspective before I started talking. My antecedents, the accuracies of my prophecies, which are there still in the public domain for people to confirm. God spoke to me, and I spoke to our people. Yet, the people that were supposed to implement the instruction, they refused to obey. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still there in the DSS dungeon. Take a listen.
And today he is protesting. One man protest.
Exactly. I mentioned it here in this prophecy. When they were telling everybody, oh, don't just be calm, everything is fine, don't shout, just be silent. As I was giving the prophetic update, the new prophecy came that nobody should keep quiet. Take a listen. I want our viewers to listen.
To DSS now. I read article a publication made by the barrister Fanyejo for today, saying that they have applied to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being his client, to see him, and up to now the application or something has not been approved by the DSS. They have not been able to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu since his abduction and return to Nigeria on the 27th of June, being Sunday. I will come to that later. They are religiously manning their police. They don't want to give any space. But watch what will happen. Only if you can pay instruction to these prophecies and follow the instructions. And
did they follow the instructions? The answer is no. Did they follow the instructions? The answer is no. You are going to hear the instructions. I was referring to the instructions I gave in the previous prophecy. Remember, at this time, I was doing update of a previous prophecy. So in the course of doing that update, letting the world know the ones that have come to pass and the ones that are still waiting for the appointed time, a new prophecy came, which you are going to hear now.
Let me quickly say this. Let nobody tell you to keep quiet. Let nobody tell anybody to be calm. Nobody should be calm at this point in time because they're a matter of life and death. I understand that this very what is happening and the arrest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is for good. Yes, I understand. But I am foreseeing a tragic turn. I am foreseeing a tragic turn.
Now, this is the new prophecy. In the course of the prophetic update, this new prophecy came that you're about to hear now. And the world is taking note. The prophecy, this very video went very viral. It went viral. Yet, the authorities, those in leadership positions of IPOB, I don't want to generalize it, majority of them that are supposed to stream this very prophecy on their platforms, they refuse to do it. One of the IPOB media giant in Japan contacted me after this prophecy was released. And he told me that he wants to send it to the IPOB presenters, that he has watched other videos of my prophecies and have confirmed the accuracy of my prophecies, that he doesn't want to take this very particular prophecy on the 1st of July lightly. Therefore, he was asking for my permission to send it to the IPOB Radio Biafra presenters, those of them that anchor programs on Radio Biafra and IPOB platforms. I gave him the permission to do so. Do you know that this young man sent this very video we are watching now to them? They refused to play it. They refused.
We are not surprised.
They refused to allow it stream on the platforms till this very day. There are some private platforms that have actually streamed this very video. And when it was brought to my attention, I went to about 2 of those platforms and I saw that the views of this very video on their platform, one of them had about 110,000 views. Apart from the views on my own platform and other platforms. Yet, the leadership that are supposed to take it up, listen to the voice of God through me. God cannot speak from the cloud. God speaks through people. From the time of old till now, listen, pay attention, do what God has asked you to do. They refused. They refused. Now listen.
Listen to me very well. I am saying 51 days. Listen, write it down. Even though it's on video, even though it's on, as I'm talking right now, the time is what? This is about 10 minutes after 3. The 1st of July, I am saying 51 days. They are giving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there's 50 days deadline to his extermination. 51 days.
This prophecy, I gave it on the 1st of July 2021. And the 51 days elapsed on the 20th of August. Between the 1st of July to the 20th of August, a lot of things happened. You remember that the first court case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the first court date of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was slated to hold on the 26th of July. But they shifted it. It was the court that gave the date. Before court gives any date, they are aware of certain in the Nigerian judiciary, more especially their vacation. That 26th of July court date they gave to the world was not in error or ignorance of the annual court vacation, judges' recess or vacation. They cancelled the 26th July court date with excuses that the judges are going on vacation. That was one of the first manifestations of the evil plans they had to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. According to that very prophecy, 51 days deadline I saw that very day as I was given the prophetic update. And between that very time and August, a lot of things transpired, a lot of things happened, that the IPOB leadership was raising alarm that the health and the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was at stake, was at risk. We also heard about the bombing of the Nigerian Defense Academy. We had it. We also heard about the security intelligence that there are plans to bomb the DSS headquarters and that the target was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And they will give excuses that it is a terrorist attack. It was a Boko Haram or bandit attack, that the hands of the DSS are not involved. We heard about it. We heard about so many intelligence, of which you also brought it to the notice of the world via your platforms. All of this were happening between that July I gave the prophecy and the 20th of August, and also moving down to December. It was prayers of intercession that we were praying after this prophecy that blocked the enemy from achieving their agenda. Madam Bridget contacted you. She is the leader of the Biafran women in America and from other countries of the world who join her in her meetings. She suggested that we have weekly prayers for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on Saturdays. And I was contacted. Starting from their protest in London, it was me that led the prayers. You remember that the leadership fought against that very protest. On the eve, which was on Friday, leading to Saturday, that very London mega rally, 3 days, was supposed to begin, there was a broadcast that should have broken Madam Bridget Okafu, her resolve, her courage, which came from Mazi Nnamdi, the head of DOS. I could remember in that very broadcast, he threatened suspending her or disbanding, the Biafran women group in America. Rather than giving a broadcast or a press release to encourage the women to fly to London to hold that very mega rally for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
Pastor, I will allow you to be mentioning them, but we have these people, their career in this struggle have ended spiritually and physically. So, but because you are here to make some things, and so I will allow you to be mentioning their name. Otherwise I don't allow anybody to mention DOS here. But I give you that exceptional clause, to go ahead.
It's okay. It was just trying to, in trying to set the record straight and make reference to important matters that sometimes we can't avoid it.
Yes, exactly.
But I'm also being conscious. Yes. So after leading that very London protest, there was 7 days fasting and prayer that we observed before the London rally and during the London rally. That prayer cleared the way, subdued the conspiracies and oppositions to that very protest. And the protest was indeed a mega one. Because the last day of that protest, the Oduduwa women also joined the Biafran women in London. If it was a failure, if that protest didn't succeed, There is no way they would have joined them. In fact, the last day of that protest, it was as if let the days of the protest be extended. The protest ended successfully. And during our prayer to thank God for the successful protest, there was now a suggestion that we take it up, the fasting and prayers, the prayers in general for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, every Saturday of the week. And from that very time, we have been praying for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with them every Saturday. You could remember one of the days you coordinated the fundraising, which I also made a pledge of $100.
Yes, I remember, yes.
I was there. That was the first time to be with you on the same platform that very day. I was there as well. We have been praying since then, ceaselessly, every Saturday for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, blocking the evil agendas of the wicked to exterminate his life. With regards to that very prophecy of the 51 days, we kept praying. I and the church, I and my team, in my own private times of prayer, the same. And a lot of other people who understand what the enemy was planning, that actually they want to kill him, they also joined us in prayers. We kept praying. You know that the spiritual controls the physical.
Yes.
The spiritual controls the physical. God's mercy preserved Mazi Nnamdi Kanu throughout that time. All the whole evidence and indications we are there that they want to kill him. But God sustained him. Now, towards the end of last year, we have been praying for his release. Many people have been talking about, oh, he'll be released. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be fine. He'll be released. But there was no specific time frame to look out for, to watch out for, and how. All we know is everyone, we are doing our best, including those that claim that they are doing it. They were not doing nothing. But there was no specific, nobody gave the world or Biafrans a specific time frame for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And God came to me and said, you are going to tell them exactly what I am about to tell you. 3 months, 3. Everybody have been praying. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released. God intervened. The legal team have been there doing their legal work. Those of you in media, and of course your own political, or should I say diplomatic moves in your own place, your country, your host country, or your country of residence, with a whole lot of other people who have been making a lot of effort for his release. But there was no specific time frame. God said, I want to settle that confusion. 3 months, I want to do it. 3 months. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released. And he gave the conditions, which gave to birth the 3 months exercise we have embarked upon since January this year. Because the guideline came out very late in December. Some people started in December. My very self, I started in December, the latter part of December. And then we now moved it to January. January, February, March. The video of that guideline has been in circulation as far back as 25th of December, 2021. It was sent to the authorities in IPOB, the principal officers. It was sent to those that were supposed to actually take it up and begin to sensitize our people on the need for them to comply, 100% compliance, to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was released. But they never did it. What is the content of the guideline? God said to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, 3 months exercise will feature fasting and prayers and civil disobedience, sit-at-home protest in Biafra land, and mass street protest in the diaspora, where Biafrans are, where Igbos are. How? Every week in the first month, which was the month of January, there will be 3 days fasting and prayers and protest, starting Sunday. Sunday. every Sunday of the week, there must be protest. The fasting and prayer will begin. The protest will begin. No Sunday service.
Pastor,
You know,
Pastor, let me pause a little. Please let me interrupt you a little bit before. I know you have time to explain all these things. So you have mentioned that God revealed to you that there must be civil disobedience,
yes.
and one of them is sit at home, and you are now telling us Sunday. I
Yes.
have overheard somebody telling me, and I have told them on this program while you were off. Somebody told me that you, Pastor Maxwell, have been observing Sunday sit at home. Is that is that true? You close your church every Sunday.
Completely truth. Since the 2nd of January, which was the first Sunday of the year.
You as a pastor in Biafra land, you are closing your church and you are supporting Sunday sit at home for Biafra and for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Is that like point blank?
Point blank, I have been doing it. I will still come back to the prophetic update to hear the instructions that God gave to our people in that very prophecy. We'll still come back to it. To your question, from the 2nd of January, which was the first Sunday of the year and of the month, till today, we have never held any Sunday service in our church. We have not. We have not.
Unbelievable.
I started when the guideline came out in December. On the 25th, it was published. And that very 25th was my birthday. I started enlightening our church members that look at what is going to happen, so you prepare. I know you have not observed it before, you have not encountered it before, you have not heard it before, but this is what God said. Prepare. Come 2022. From January to March, there will be no Sunday service in this church. No Sunday service. And I made it very clear to them that nobody under any guise should come close to our church premises on Sundays. For what? Either you say, oh, you want to come and clean church. No, don't come close. It is strictly sit at home. Protest for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Fast and pray for him, because I understand what that man is all about. I understand what he carries in him. I understand that he is the man, the Messiah of our own generation that God has sent. Because in every generation, God raises a man and uses a man to lead a particular generation. From the time that Nigeria and Biafra fought the Civil War, 1966, to the time that Biafra restoration came back through IPOB led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it was exactly 40 years. It was exactly 40 years. From 1966 to 2013 or 2014, it's about 40 years. And 40 years represents the generation of a man. 40 years, one generation. 40 years, another generation. God allowed that very generation that fought the Civil War their years to complete. This is a spiritual insight that those that are fighting against the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and those that are fighting against the freedom of Biafra don't understand. I understood it. From 1966 till the time that the Biafra restoration fire was reignited by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, 2013 or 2014, do the math, is exactly 40 years. That very 40 years represented the completion of the cycle of the years for the generation that fought the Civil War. Even before Ojukwu died, their own generation had been counting after 1966. After Ojukwu died, even before Ojukwu died, God raised Wazurike, but he failed. He failed. God raised him in preparation for the next generation, which must have elapsed by 2013. But because he failed, that was why God raised Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because another generation has started, and that very generation cannot continue without a leader. The generation that fought the war, they completed their 40 years of existence. Ralph Wazirike was raised to lead this very generation now, based on the calculation from 1966, the time that they fought the Civil War, till 2013 and 2014. But he failed. And so God was in a hurry to raise Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to make sure that this very present generation does not continue without a leader. And he started. He understood the mandate of God and the will of God for the Biafra restoration, and he backed it up with spiritual foundation and measures. That is why in less than no time, the fire everywhere was ignited with the fire and the inferno of Biafra restoration. It's not ordinary. He was sent at a appointed time to represent and to lead this very generation. And that is why we must not toil with him. And anything that has to do with him, God never take it lightly. And so we started fasting and prayers on Sundays, three days every week. In January, we observed it. Starting from 2nd of January, the first Sunday. Monday, Tuesday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Three days every week. That was what God said, that we have to observe the fasting and prayers and protest in January. As the fasting and prayers are going on, the street protest in the diaspora will also be going on the same days of the fasting and prayers. That was what God said. Also, here in Biafra land, sit-at-home protest will also be going on alongside the fasting and prayers. Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. Every week in January. I complied. Our church complied.
Pastor, Pastor, sorry. So this, this revelation you got, have you ever discussed it with me?
I've not.
I
have not.
Why I ask this question is that, I'm just watching you, I am listening to you, and to be sincere, I have not come across your channel or, watched you as such. So, but, everything you are saying now is what we have been pushing for, and we are strongly pushing for it. It means that the same God is speaking to you too.
That's very correct.
All right, go ahead.
That's very correct. So in February, we continued. God said in February, it is going to be 4 days. January, three days every week, beginning Sundays. February, 4 days every week, beginning the same Sundays. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, February. With the fasting and prayers and the protest. Total compliance across the board by Biafrans in the diaspora and those of us here in Biafra land. And in the month of March, 5 days. Sundays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 5 days. 5 whole days. We ended our February fasting and prayer and exercise on the 28th with our interactive broadcast. And we did not even take a break. We switched over immediately to the March exercise on the 1st of March, being yesterday, with our live broadcasts, fasting and prayers and protests. As I'm talking to you now, I've not eaten, even though we concluded our own broadcast. I told you, we concluded our broadcast for the fasting and prayer between 4 p.m. and around 6 before I joined you on this platform. Our members the same, our church the same. You may do your due diligence and your underground investigations on Sundays. The address of our church is number 3 Cherubim Road. Number 3 Cherubim Road, my 3 Dube, Port Harcourt, by UST Roundabout. I don't do this often. I don't give out the address of our church for people to come to worship. I don't do it. But this is for evidence. On Sundays, we don't have Sunday services. And we sit at home. It has not been easy. But one thing I discover is wherever there is a will, that determination to obey God and do what is right, God releases the grace. Grace doesn't just come when you are defiant, when your posture is against what God has asked you to do. We have been doing it. God said, this is what Biafrans must do. If you want Nnamdi Kanu to be released, there is nothing like, oh, we are believing God. It will happen when nobody knows. Look at when I want to do it, how I want to do it. 3 months. This guideline that I've explained once again on this platform has been in circulation. January went like that. Nobody, there was no total compliance. We did not even record up to 1% compliance. As I said from the beginning of this very interview, that I saw the flyer of the January exercise on your platform, on your Facebook platform. I saw it because Madam Bridget told me that she was going to send it to you and that you were going to do something about it.
Yes.
But I believe there was no follow-up. That was why you didn't follow up the program. I saw it. There are other platforms that shared it. I saw it, including the video of the guideline, the audio. It was in different formats so that nobody will give excuses. The video format was there, the audio format was there, and the text is also there. If you go to my Facebook timeline and scroll down to the old post, you will see all of them there. I tagged some people. I mentioned some people who are in position to give direct instructions to the IPOB principal officers to support and to highlight this very exercise and make it known that our people may comply, yet they declined. They didn't do it. They flouted it. The month of January, you saw how God was in a hurry to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They fixed 3 court sittings, 3 dates at a stretch. It is not ordinary. On the 16th, as we were praying live on my platform, my YouTube channel, Maxwell, God spoke to me that they want to truncate the court sitting on the 18th. I said it live as I am live now talking. If God speaks to me now, I will release it here and now. As we are praying live on air, God spoke to me that look at what they are planning. They want to truncate the court sitting. That was on the 17th. If you go to my YouTube channel, go to the 17th of January. Listen to the broadcast. You will hear when I gave the prophecy that the next day, being the 18th of the court sitting, they want to truncate it. They don't want it to hold. And that was exactly what happened. That same day I gave that prophecy was the day that they brought the 15 amended count charges and served it on the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I was not there, but God was there. If you go and play that video, I was describing what was happening in Asorok. I told the audience that there is a strong discussion going on now between Malami that they want to truncate their court sitting the next day, being 18th. I said it live on air. And then they came with the 15 amended count charges. And the lawyers began to raise alarm. When I had it, I went back to prayer overnight. We began to pray that their effort and those charges should be never see the light of the day. We began to pray for wisdom, prompt understanding, analytical wisdom for the legal team on how to go about it. How can they challenge 15 amended count charges that was served on them in less than 24 hours to their court date? How could they have done it? If not by divine reinforcement coming from prayers, being made manifest through some people that were reaching out to them and also advising them. Because we can't reach them. God did the work. He sent people that reached them. And they worked overnight to generate a 52 pages challenging those 15 amended count charges. And rather than the case being truncated, the next day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was able to take the plea for the first time. These things happened in January when the exercise was going on. Despite all the attacks, lack of compliance by huge percentage, yet God did all this as evidence that he was really out to do what he told us he would do. And since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was brought to Nigeria, he never took plea. That very day that they wanted to truncate the court sitting, he was able to take plea because God intervened. And then the next day, there was court sitting. And the court sitting that was to take place on the 20th was now adjourned to the 16th of February last month. Now, on the 16th, on the 24th of January, as we were also praying on my platform live, trying to close our fasting and prayer for that very day in Biafra land, on the 24th of January, as we were praying, God spoke to me that there are plans to change Justice Binta Nyako. That they want to change Justice Binta Nyako, who happened to be the judge presiding over the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that they want to change her. I had it. God just spoke to me that very day as we're praying. And God began to describe what they want to achieve by it. And I said it live on air, that they want to change Justice Binta Nyako. And we began to pray. We began to pray. On the 24th, if you go to this, my channel, Maxwell that we're here on YouTube, you will see the video published, live video on the 24th of January. That was the day I gave the want to change Justice Binta Nyako. Now, in less than 1 month, we heard about that they want to change the court venue. Maz, I hope you're following.
I'm following.
In less than 1 month of that prophecy, we heard that there are plans, not that we had, we read it. It was published on different Nigerian dailies. Justice John Tozo, he said because of how Biafran thronged and besieged the court premises during the court dates of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that they can no longer tolerate it. That there are about 11 courts in that very Abuja High Court, that the court where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being tried by Justice Binta Nyako is only one court. But any time that he has a court date, everywhere is on a standstill. Every other court activities are put on hold. He was given excuses. But I know it was a manifestation of the prophecy I gave on the 24th of January, that very year. He said, therefore, they have concluded the plans and they will never go back from it to make sure that the court venue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is changed. If they change the court venue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, where Justice
in this
Binta
broadcast
Nyako,
today, we are going to call on the politician in Biafra land. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay. It's okay. If they succeed in changing the court venue where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being tried by Justice Binta Nyako, that is the manifestation of the prophecy. Now, Justice Binta Nyako may decide not to go to the new court venue for whatever reason. It is possible. Or the powers that be, the cabals may force her to step down. And they will begin to talk about jurisdiction, and so many other things that they have in stock to defend that very abnormality. That is the manifestation of the prophecy on the 24th of January this very year, coming from this same exercise. Fasting and prayers, protest, sit-at-home protest in Biafra land, mass street protest in the diaspora. You heard about the interview that Dr. Cho Ayaba granted to, I don't know who was the interviewer, but it is one of the Radio Biafra platforms. And he talked about locking down Biafra land.
Yes.
He talked about it. He said that you people are not serious by, just trying to, appease the aggressor rather than embarking on a very stringent measures, including civil disobedience, not just the usual, a very light and a mild one. Total lockdown of Biafra land. He said it, and he said it angrily. He was not reserved when he expressed himself in that interview. I saw it. I watched the video pointing to the same exercise that God has asked us to embark upon, pointing to also your own, I don't know, because I was not following you up, that we are also talking about this same exercise, civil disobedience. It was later I started hearing about Nsima talking about sit at home on Sundays, Biafra Unite the same. And also, one of your programs, I also watched it when you had a collaborative, a joint broadcast. You had a joint broadcast on your platform. I also had it. I saw it. I said, wow, this is exactly, which means God was speaking to you people indirectly, and you were trying to communicate it, but simply because you are not a pastor, you are not a man of God or a daddy GO, they were now trying to see it as anti-Christianity or anti-Christ or against the church.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
that was why it is now I never knew. It is now that I'm understanding it, that was why God came to me and said, my servant, this is my will. Maybe the channel of communication may not be acceptable, given to the fact that people will judge them as not knowing anything about the ministry or how the church runs.
Yes.
So I am going to use you to clarify that very gray area and make the communication very clear and understandable. And so he told me it must be Sundays every week, Sundays, every blessed week. Whoever that is calling me now, please, we are not taking calls. I am live on air, please. And we started. And God was working. I've given you instances of the manifestation of God in January. And also on the 16th. On the 16th, when the lawyers were locked out, the update was given to me, and I gave prophecy that very day on 16th of February that they are going to be allowed into the courtroom in 10 minutes' time. I said it live on air. That very day, we did a marathon broadcast. We were trying to provide information and update to our people while also fasting and prayer. So we went ahead of the court time. We started broadcast in the morning around 10, while they told us that the court will sit by 1 p.m. Nigerian time. We started praying, and the update came to me that the lawyers were not allowed into the courtroom. And I gave prophecy that in 10 minutes they will be allowed. And that was what happened. How do I know? If you watched the video where Barrister Senior Advocate Chief Michael Ozekome was reprimanding Prince Kanu Meme, if you watched that video, you will hear when Chief Michael Zekome said exactly that. He has been preventing, he has been stopping him for 10 minutes.
So
if
you hear
have,
that? So you have
yes,
that too? So you
I
had
had
that
it.
too? Okay.
I had it. I had it. Our viewers can look for that video. When he was angry in the courtroom with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and members of the legal team, including Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He was upset. He was talking to Prince Kanu Meme. He said, even me and Ejiofor that
In this broadcast today, what is really going on?
We are going to call on the politicians.
Why is this why is this in playing without me touching it? Go ahead.
is well. It's one of those things that happens. It's one of
why is this in playing without me touching it, for Christ's sake?
it's one of those things that happens. That's how it happens sometimes.
This is the second time
Yes.
it's playing without me touching it. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes. And he said, you have been stopping me for 10 minutes. I had it. Nobody told me. I watched the video. I zoomed it. I raised the volume. I was shocked when I had Chief Michael Zekome mention 10 minutes. And then they were allowed into the courtroom. And that was the prophecy I gave, that they will be allowed in 10 minutes. And we prayed about it. The people that joined me in the broadcast, we are praying. Now, while we are there, you know what happened? You know what happened the other time that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to court and they locked out the lawyers, and it was only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with the judge in the courtroom.
Yes.
And before you know it, the lawyers didn't enter the courtroom. They said the case are adjourned. That was exactly what they wanted to do on the 16th of February, to run away. And when that prophecy came, I gave it. And we began to follow up everything, continuously praying as the Spirit of God was leading me that very day. God told me that we should lock up the courtroom, that they don't want to hear that very application to quash the 15 amended count charges. You know that anytime a judge accepts to hear an application, the next thing is to give ruling.
Yes.
Application cannot be ruled upon. Rulings cannot be given without hearing any application. And one of the things that this government runs from is to hear application. Any case that they are scared of, they will continue to take adjournment upon adjournment, amendment upon amendment, to make sure that it takes a very long time before the judge hears the case. Because after hearing the case, the next thing is ruling. And after the ruling, the next thing, the legal team, it will not give them insight to prepare or to anticipate, to preempt the next court action or legal action. They never wanted to hear that very application. That 42-page application generated by the legal team of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to quash the 15 amended count charges. They never wanted to hear it. They wanted to run away from the court and take adjournment to hear it, not to rule on it. And God said, using the book of Job 38, verse 10, he said to me, set bars and doors, lock up the courtroom. Nobody will go out until the judge hears the matter. And we prayed. We prayed. We took them hostage by prayers and said, nobody will leave that courtroom until Justice Binta Nyako hears the matter. And at the end of the day, she heard the matter, for which the ruling is now adjourned to 8th of April. That was February. Each of the months, January, February, God manifested himself in this exercise. And there are so many other prophecies which I'm not going to discuss here because of time. Let me go back to this update that is showing here. Let's go back to it.
Deadline to his extermination. I heard a voice that said, we will not give them two things. Listen to me. By now you understand. I'm hearing that voice. A conspiratorial voice. I'm hearing it in the realm of the spirit. That we will not give them two things. It's either we give them Biafra and take Nnamdi Kanu. Are you hearing? That's what I'm hearing now. That they cannot give them Biafra and give them Nnamdi Kanu. And their highest interest is Nnamdi Kanu. They said that he has caused so much trouble. That he has caused so much trouble that can never be remedied or repaired, even in generations to come. And I had 51 days to perfect this plan. Listen, the Holy Spirit decided to interrupt this prophetic update now with a new prophet. Listen to me very carefully. I am talking to all the members of IPOB and the leadership of IPOB and all the Igbos, all the Southerners, all the people that love freedom, that love truth, that love justice. If you are a man of God, this is time to pray. Listen to me. What is about to happen? Your altar cannot deliver you. Listen, what is about to fall upon the very contraption called Nigeria? What is about to fall? If Nnamdi Kanu goes down, religion cannot save you. 51 days. Starting from today, the 1st of July. I think that will elapse in August. I think August. I don't know the exact day. I think it should be either, I don't know, maybe 20th August, I think. From now to 20th August, that is when they want to perfect their plan. And the leadership of IPOB and all the Igbos and all the Southerners, all the lovers of freedom, you must do everything you can. Don't spare anything to get him out within 51 days. Let nobody tell us to be quiet. Let nobody tell you, oh, they come. No, this is not time to be quiet. I am not saying that people should cause trouble, no. But you must, this is time to release your arsenals. This is time to release your strategy. This is time. Where is the M branch? Where is the M branch? This is time to swing into action. Don't allow him to be in custody for 51 days, starting from today, the 1st of July. I don't know when this video is going to be published on my channel, but today is 1st of July. And I'm saying a deadline to exterminate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 51 days, starting from today. You have to act. Listen to me. You have to take the governors, 1 or 2, to ransom. Listen to me. I am saying what the Spirit of God is telling me.
I hope the world is hearing. I hope they are taking note.
Pastor,
the people that we are instructed and given specific instructions across the board is prophecy with solution. It's not just to give prophecy, no direction, no solution, no. You had all of the people I mentioned, groups of people, individuals, both pastors. Did they carry out the instruction? The answer is no. Talking about the governor, let the video play.
Me right now. You are holding my son, I'm holding your son. That was what God told Pharaoh. He said, if you don't want to let my son go, Jacob is my son, Israel is my firstborn. If you don't allow him to go, I will be your firstborn for my firstborn. You understand what I'm saying? I can't say everything on earth. That will force them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's nothing like hearing or legal process.
Did you hear that?
Pastor, you know, we are serving the same God, though. You know, I want to it's like we are serving the same God, though. All right, go ahead.
Very, very crystal clear prophecy. Clear. Take one governor to ransom. That will force them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Forget about hearing or legal process. There is nothing like hearing. That was what God said through me on the 1st of July, 2021. And throughout this caller calling me, this caller, I am telling you, please stop calling. I am not.
Pastor, let me, because maybe this.
I'm not taking calls now, please.
Yeah, maybe this caller are those who will be calling and say, please stop talking. You see, let me explain to them. What you are telling us here is what you heard, what the Spirit told you. It's
Exactly.
not something you made up.
No,
you know, on your own. It is not something you come and say, do this. It is what the Spirit of God told you.
And
Exactly.
so anybody that is coming to say the person is fighting God.
Exactly.
So let me explain that to
Exactly.
them.
Exactly. This is not, see, there are so many prophecies, there are so many messages God gave to me, and it's not for public consumption.
Yeah.
I am not just such a careless man of God or that want to sound prophetic or want people to praise him. People that know me understand what I'm saying now. There are many other prophecies God gave me messages, and he said to me, this is not for public consumption. Handle it with your prayer team. Handle it privately. Don't disclose it. If you go to the channel, you will see a message published there talking about prophecy for a female IPOB principal officer and her group. That prophecy was published on that very channel, my channel, on 8th of April, 2021. Very crystal clear. God described almost everything about them. Clean and clear.
Now,
and some people have been shouting when they compare what has been happening in the IPOB leadership with some people, women, groups, and they came to me and said, man of God, the prophecy you gave is here with us. It's manifesting. But when you go to my YouTube channel, that prophecy is not up to 3,000 views because they kept on suppressing every message and every content that comes from me that talks about Nnamdi Kanu, that talks about Biafra, because they know how authentic they are. On Facebook, they don't give me a breathing space. Everywhere, even my broadcast,
today
threat everywhere.
Pastor, today we have crashed them, and from the 1st of March, they are gone. That is why we have almost 12,000 people watching this program on YouTube alone.
Amazing.
On YouTube alone, we have 3,300 watching this on YouTube alone, and 12,800 on some of the platform, only on Enterbiafra platform. So,
amazing.
Those jinx has been broken. And Pastor, let me show you one thing. You see, the problem the governors and these politicians have now is that they know that the game has changed.
Exactly.
The game have changed. And that is the reason why today you see Omahe has come out to say something for the very first time, because he know that the game has changed. I'm going to show you what Omahe have to say. Just one moment, because people need to know that. Of course, when they know that they have failed, they know that their plan to destroy the Biafra struggle have failed, and they know that we are now in autopilot. So, and they know that we are not the kind of people you will buy with money. And they know that we have come and we are ready to put everything on the line for Biafra to come. And they know that some of us are not ready for anything other than we want to make history. So I want you to listen to them. Let me read what Umahi said today. Umahi said, Umahi review ongoing dialogue with Buhari over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release for the very first time. Of course, but he's not talking to people like us. Okay?
Exactly, we know.
So he continued. The chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, David Umahi, on Tuesday, which is yesterday, assured Igbos that the national leader of the we are not outlawed. The national leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and I want you to understand they have added national. Okay, they have added national leader. So it is something that is unusual. National leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will soon be released from the DSS detention. This is Omahi saying this today, because he knows what is to come. He knows that the betting have changed hand. Now,
exactly.
I continue.
Omahi, who made this known in Abakaliki, said he initiated a political dialogue with President Buhari to ensure the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from DSS detention. Why is Omahi initiating this thing now? Why is Omahi initiating? Okay, let us continue.
Yes.
The governor, who equally located another 2.5 hectares of land located opposite the international market at Abakaliki to the Association of Computer Village Merchant of Nigeria, lamented that many businesses are closing down in the southeast because of unknown government.
Okay.
And let me also tell you, Omahi already preparing for Biafra. Umahi is already preparing for Biafra. Umahi is bringing Computer Village from Lagos. He wants to relocate Computer Village from Lagos to southeast.
Southeast.
So he's already preparing for Biafra because he knows that what is going to happen now from now on, nobody is going to stop it. Now,
exactly.
He said, since the commencement of the activities of the unknown government, people now prefer to take their businesses to other regions of the country. Of course, people know who the unknown government is just starting because these are the people that have killed their brothers and sisters and are picking up arms against the government. And there is nothing anybody can do about it. Why do we still have unknown government in Southeast? This is not the first time it is happening in Igbo land. There was a time it was terrible in Abia State, in Onitsha, and so many other places, and the Igbo men knows what to do. We are coming to that point, businesses are moving away from Alaibo for what? I have gone to President Buhari and initiated a political dialogue over our brother, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Are you hearing it? Because
I'm hearing it.
They have just come to realize that every attempt they did, to truncate the Biafra and destroy the struggle have failed. And
has failed.
A new dimension. So they had no choice. Now let us continue. That process is on. And I don't see any reason why we should be killing ourselves, fighting our people, making sure that the economy of the Southeast is down. When we have not even started the economy of the Southeast, we are coming with economic sanction. Starting from it is going to be heavy on them. And I have told them, economic sanction enforcement will start from this week. They should just watch and see.
Without any delay. Listen, Mazi, you will continue with this. I will call it a confirmation that we are in the right direction. I will just say it. I know you are going to continue.
Yes.
You see, this month of March is pivotal. God cannot speak without bearing witness to himself. Never. The economic sanction you are talking about is the mind and the will of the Most High God in heaven. Civil disobedience alongside economic sanction. If people must be free, Jesus said that you will not go to a strong man's house and take what is in his house, your property he has stolen and kept in his custody, without binding him first. You must first of all, that is a strong man. You cannot take what is in his house when his hands are not tied. You must bind him, bind his hands. What does it mean? Neutralize him. What does it mean? Put him in a position that he will have no other option than to beg you. Bring him to his knees. Bring him to his knees. That is the potency of economic sanction. We are dying already. What is the economy that is viable? Tell me any market in Biafra land that is viable. Tell me. The infrastructure. Is it the infrastructure? Is it the light, power? Is it water? Is it medical services? Look at a big market, an international market like our area. All they have is police station, no medical center.
You see?
No good infrastructure, no common drainage that when rain falls, the flood will easily navigate through the gutter. and disappear.
Only police post.
And disappear under in less than 5 minutes. It doesn't matter the heaven downpour. Ariara doesn't have it. No structure, no light. It's generator. The floor, the ground, no flooring, no interlocking, no nothing, no German floor, nothing. Potholes everywhere.
They generate billions there.
Billions for the government. Are you talking about Obosisi? Are you talking about Ochanja? Are you talking about Ahihoro? Are you talking about cemetery market? Which market? Are you talking about the main market? Which market are you talking about? If you come to Port Harcourt now, the My One market, which is what is a major market in River State. My One market. Go and find out by yourself. Ask somebody here to find out. The market has been reconstructed during the time of Sir Celestino Meher, who was only governor for 6 months in River State. By then, I was also trying to fight for good governance. I worked with him. I registered Owe Doni local government area of River State when he was contesting for that very position as the governor. I left everything about supporting government and everything when the truth of the Biafra restoration came to me through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Did very wicked that is in power today. The deputy governor, Epalebo Harebanego, my group worked for them. My group, Youth Progressive Mission, generated some 7 political office holders today. But I disconnected because I had the truth and I followed the truth. They newly constructed My One market. They completed the first phase. It took a whole number, almost 2 years, before the stores were reallocated to the owners. Not even the owners. They bought it over. The government bought it over and sold it out at a very exorbitant prices. Their first choice was the indigents, those from Ikwere, rather than the rightful owners of the shops that they set ablaze and reconstructed. They did the first phase of it, and now the second phase has been completed. As I'm talking to you, the market has been commissioned for a very long time, yet the real owners cannot have it. Even those that bought the stores cannot use it. The market is still under lock and keys. And the traders are forced to the street. And now they will turn around and be calling them illegal traders. And the tax force is always impounding and destroying their wares. Those of them selling crayfish, selling pepper. How much gain is in pepper and tomatoes? They will impound it and pour inside the gutter. Some of them, they pour kerosene into it. The point I'm trying to make is this. You are talking about economic sanction, and they say, don't do it. Our people are suffering. The point I'm trying to make is that we are already suffering. In fact, they are the ones imposing economic sanction on us indirectly by their actions and dysfunctional system of government. We are suffering. So it is a better thing that we are the ones that have decided to impose it on the land, because we are the owners of the land.
For a better result.
Yes. And we'll make sure that there is strict compliance with it. When the children of Israel were fighting for freedom, they were not talking about economy. They were not talking about commerce or industry.
Exactly.
They were not talking about building hospitals. They were focused on that very freedom, and they were following religiously and strictly the guideline that God was giving to them through Moses. They never deviated. We know that there were saboteurs among them, but yet the ones that are forthright in thinking and progressive in mind, whom God planted there in their midst, was always used by God to counter the saboteurs and to bring them to their knees. We saw it. We read it in the Bible. It's a reality. It's not just a piece of history. No. We have seen it in Gandhi. We have seen it in different agitators who employed even this same economic sanction. And it worked very effectively. Civil disobedience, it worked. You are not coming out to shoot anybody. You are not coming out to fight with anybody. You're just civil disobedience.
Exactly.
And they were telling us last year that if we do it, it is going to, they will tag us as terrorists. And I say, how come anybody, who will do it? Who?
That era.
The world is waiting for us to do something, and we are waiting for the world to do something.
Yes.
What an irony.
Yes. That era.
The United Nations, they are putting on notice. We put the word on notice. Oh, Secretary General of UN, Quataras. Oh, Human Rights Watch. They are waiting. They are not blind, for goodness sake. Biafrans must understand this. They have their eyes wide open.
Yes.
They have their foot soldiers. They have correspondence.
Pastor, as I'm talking,
they have.
As I'm talking to you now, there is an official of the ECOWAS on this platform that have been assigned by the ECOWAS office to follow this program every day we are live, and they are going to give a feedback to them. As I'm talking to you now, the ECOWAS office in Abuja, the program of this ECOWAS office, they have designed their program for the year in accordance, in line with the sit at home in Biafra land. And people don't know this. This is an intel, and they know that I know this. So if I continue to read this latest update from the governor, so that people will understand.
I must allow you. Yes, I must allow you. I was trying to throw in more light. There are so many things to say. So
yes,
you may continue.
You will say that.
And after that, I am going to also share a video that was published on the 23rd of August last year, when I was praying about the suspension on the sit-at-home protest. In that video, we were praying in our prayer room, and the Lord spoke to me to pray about the suspension, that it will be lifted, because it was not from God. And I gave a prophecy that if the suspension on the sit-at-home protest is as a result of handiwork of the enemy, maybe they gave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a very wrong and distorted information in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, which I didn't believe that he's the one that pronounced it, which may have prompted him to pronounce the suspension. I said, if it is the handiwork of the enemy, that the suspension will not exceed September. That was the prophetic prayer I made in August 2021, that it will not exceed September 2021. And do you know, on the 24th of September, Mazi Cheka, let me not mention the name because you've told me, in a broadcast, they lifted it. They said that they are now allowing our people to continue with the sit-at-home protest, in the sense that they are using it to show solidarity to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu voluntarily from their mind. So nobody should force them not to observe the sit-at-home protest. September 24th. It did not cross, according to the prophecy. Later, I'm going to share the video for the world to hear it. Go ahead.
All right. So we are here. We'll continue reading this. And then Omahi continued. Some of the people that initiated this sit at home are outside the country.
It's a lie.
They can never.
I am here.
They can never do sit at home one day. One day there, because they work 24 hours. And if they do, hunger will kill them, he said. Omahi continued yesterday. He noted that the Igbos are the enemies of themselves, pointing out that until the activities of the gunmen are halted, the region would continue to suffer economic deprivation and stagnation. And the question you should be asking Omahi, were there unknown gunmen for the past 50 years of this Nigeria and the Southeast and all that? Were there unknown gunmen? So what happened?
No.
Reason for the economic...
What happened? Exactly.
Now, Omahi continued. Omahi called for a concerted effort toward bringing to an end
such inhuman treatment against Igbos by the government, adding that he has met with President Buhari Akoko toward having a political solution to the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He asked those insisting on sit-at-home order to also ensure it is not restricted to the 5 southeast states. Are you hearing that? Omahi is now advocating that since we say we must sit at home, we should also make sure that the sit at home is not only restricted to this 5 southeast states, but to all Igbos across the country and the globe. And of course, we are getting there. And we have started talking about Lagos. Umahi is now advocating for this. You know, we are now getting there. Lagos State, we will begin to mention the names of the market leaders in Lagos to remind them, you know, how important it is for them to be part of this, except if they don't, they no longer want, if they don't want to have village again. If they want to,
they must participate. They must join. They must.
So they must join, and we are getting there. Yeah, I think before the middle of this month, we are going to have a compiled list of the market leaders in Lagos and, of course, in other parts of the southern Nigeria. And we are going to get in contact with them. And if they refuse to join, then they should be ready to not talk about coming from Biafra land again, because they need to.
They will join.
Now, Governor Omahi continue. Governor Omahi called on Ndi Igbo to always come back home to invest, adding that such investment would not only develop the region, but can boost the economic fortune of the region. So when you look at this now, you find out that when Omahi and the government came to understand that the betting is no longer in the hand of those that have paid, is no longer in the hand of those that have paid money, is no longer in the hand of those who have eaten the forbidden fruit. They know that agwo on Africa, and it's not a joke. The agwo is in Africa very much. I'm telling you, Pastor, that the time, this is time for action, and we are going to give it to them. And we have given from now till 15th of March to pull the military out of our villages and community. And if that did not happen, we will start. Of course, you are not part of this, but I'm just talking, you know,
I understand.
We are going to start to visit those who are responsible, bringing these security policemen to kill our women and our children. And they are the House of Assembly members, the governors, and the state executives, because they have proved that they are the one bringing the military. At least we have not heard any of this state House of Assembly in any state in the southeast to come and give official statement condemning burning of communities, because burning of community is not fighting crime. If you feel there is any crime you want to fight the criminals. Why would
you find out
the burning communities and killing our women?
What happened to the intelligence unit of every military formation?
Yeah.
Every police unit, every police headquarters, regional headquarters. What happened to the intelligence gathering? Somebody committed a crime in an environment or from a place, and then you went to that very place, that very house, where you allegedly said that the perpetrator of that crime is living, and you set it ablaze, and the perpetrator of the crime is not in that house. He must have run away. Have you solved the problem? Have you? To solve the problem is to unmask, is to get arrested through intelligence gathering the perpetrator of such a crime.
Yes.
This is not something that people like us should be discussing or telling them. What is the training about? Their police college, the defense academy that they went through, what is it all about? Is it just brutality? Is it just loading the magazine and shooting the gun at randomly? Is that what it's all about? What happened to the intelligence gathering? Burning down houses never solves any crime. Any crime. The perpetrator of such a crime must have taken his or her leave for the group of people that committed the crime. Burning down the structure does not set, does not bring justice or bring the perpetrators of the crime to justice. It doesn't.
Now,
But through intelligence gathering, you get them arrested.
yes.
Not causing chaos, not just causing trouble, the whole of the community. The whole of the community. The villages are deserted. Many people lose their lives. How does that serve justice? How does it serve justice?
Yes,
and
Pastor, if you look at this, if you look at the screen, you find out the upgrade that has been coming from the 1st of March, which we have declared, the beginning of the new dimension in the struggle. This is the latest of a man who claimed he want to reshape Nigeria. This is the former INEC boss. Today, he has come to say Nigeria is in process of total collapse. And this is the former INEC boss.
And he contributed in greater measure.
Of course.
It was the electoral process he supervised and presided over. He was the head of this very umpire, INEC, that brought in the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. He was the one. This is a systemic something. This is not just about persons. This is not just about this man writing, Professor Atahiro Jega. It is what Nigeria represents. It is how Nigeria is structured. It is how Nigeria is set up. It is how Nigeria was founded. That it doesn't matter the players, it doesn't matter the executors or the enforcers of the constitution or the law. Before ever they get into the system, they are rebaptized. They are baptized into the system. That even though they had a very good mind, a very resolution that is upright to deliver on the mandate of the people, but before ever they take the oath of office, they are already baptized into the system. And they must flow with the tide, with the trend. And after they leave office, you will hear them crying foul. Obasanjo was there, what did he do? But today he's still crying foul. Goodluck Jonathan was there, what did he do? Yes, he tried, but today he is crying foul.
And Pastor
Jega was there, what did he do?
Yes, and Pastor
Orubebe, a moment.
Yeah.
Orubebe was there at the INEC headquarters that very day. They were doing their so-called collection of results. That Godwin Orubebe was crying. He was protesting right there as they were calling the results. Orubebe said no, that this very result cannot continue. That Jega, this same Jega talking now, that Nigeria is in the process of total collapse. Orubebe was challenging him that very day on a live national television. That Mr. INEC chairman, you are biased. Mr. INEC chairman, you are biased. We cannot take it. We cannot take it. He was protesting. But his so-called fellow Niger Deltans never joined him in that very protest. And Jega never gave this man the hypocrisy in this country, in this very system. He never gave at us. They continue to read out the fraudulent and falsified figures of the result of the so-called concluded presidential election. And he awarded, he gave Buhari the certificate of return that he won the election. And how many years down the line, this same man that conducted such a fraudulent presidential election, in which the card reader did not even recognize Goodluck Jonathan 3 good times. CNN saw it. They saw it.
The whole president.
He is now telling you that Nigeria is in the process of total collapse, which he also contributed. But he is now shouting as a saint, as a patriotic Nigerian. But he contributed. He laid the foundation with the trowel in his hands and the cement. He laid the foundation that brought in this total collapse. And now he's crying foul.
So, Pastor, thank you. Before we go into what you want to show, also just within this time of the changing of betting of this particular struggle, because the betting have changed and now it is in the hand of autopilot. I want you to see the update that is coming from Nigeria. We have already warned them that we're going to crush We're going to make sure that oil exploration in our land is brought to ground zero, and we are not going to back down from that. And then, of course, with that, you see that even though it is a long thing and a long time thing, there is a development that even if they have been planning it a long time ago, the development is that the oil company are leaving Nigeria. They are leaving Nigeria. They are beginning to sell the asset, and they are fleeing. They are fleeing Nigeria.
They have to do that in a hurry.
They are doing that in a hurry now. So they are fleeing
do it.
Nigeria because they know that everything have failed. And the earlier they leave, the better for them. But the thing is that it is going to be often kupu, for those who are going to be purchasing this thing, because we will make sure this is the only thing that is bringing Nigeria together, the oil, and the oil is in our land. So
exactly.
So now you see that the NNPC explain why bigger international oil companies are selling off assets, leaving Nigeria. They will tell you all manner of stories. It is for the carbon dioxide, it is for emission, and whatever story cock and bull. We know what is going on, and we are not backing down an inch. The fight for freedom is not a child play, and we are going to make sure we continue. So, Pastor Maxwell, I will come to you now so you can continue with what you wanted to show us.
Yes.
All right.
This very economic sanction, as I've said before, is a wake-up call, and it's a clarion call, and it is a tax that every one of us that is an indigenous person coming from this part of the world must make sure we bring our own contributions, selfless sacrifices, ideas, strategies, without any parochial interest, without any personal interest, to make it succeed. We cannot miss this time around. I have said this thing several times at different fora. All the people that are on this platform, like the person you mentioned from AU, who is observing and monitoring this very broadcast, they must take this to heart, and they must take note of it. You see this generation of Biafrans, you see this very generation you are seeing. Forget about the misunderstanding we have in different places. Forget about it. This is the generation that has the mandate. This very generation has the mandate to restore Biafra, because this generation fell into the prophetic time frame for the restoration of Biafra. Jacob said, let me read it. Jacob said in Genesis 49, when he was about to die, he was blessing his children, and he was prophesying over them, telling them what lies ahead of them in the future. Genesis chapter 49. I am going to skip other verses, and I will go straight. This person calling, please, you have to stop it, please. I am begging you in the name of the Lord. Verse 19. God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. God is the seventh son of Jacob. And majority of us, we Biafrans, we are coming from that very tribe. God is our progenitor. A troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. This prophecy started coming to manifestation in the life of God as a person, in the life of God as a father of some children, in the life of God as a progenitor of a tribe, and in the offsprings of God, those of them that came from his lineage, from his loins. This prophecy manifested in the book of Judges chapter 10. Troops overcame God. This same prophecy manifested in the days of Jeremiah the prophet. In Jeremiah chapter 42, troops overcame God. They occupy and sacked their gatherings and occupied their territories. This same prophecy fulfilled in the time of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Yeshua HaMashiach, in the book of Mark, as we read in the chapter 4. The territory of the Gadites, Gad, our progenitor, their territory in the days of Jesus Christ of Nazareth was occupied by a man that was possessed with legions of demons. If you read in the account of Mark chapter 5, you will see what the Bible said there, that nothing moved in that very territory. The whole land of the Gadarenes. In the New Testament, they were called the Gergesens. Some translation call them the Gadarenes, but we know them as the Gadites from the tribe of Gad. This legion of demons that took possession of this man, through this very man and the powers of the demon in him, they had water, but there was no sheep. Ships couldn't come to their waterways. Everyone that is watching must understand what I'm saying here. Just like today, we have River Niger, we have the seaport in Calabar, we have the sea, we have the water, but no cargo ship. It happened in the days of Jesus Christ of Nazareth by the presence of the demoniac. Now, Jesus decided to cross over to the land of the Gadarenes to bring about liberation, freedom, emancipation. And so, in the book of Mark chapter 4, as they were traveling to the land of the Gadarenes to liberate that very land, which is the land of Biafra in this context, there was a tempest that rose in the middle of their journey on the sea. Just like today, there is a tempest that is hitting this very boat, this very ship that is called IPOB, that is carrying us to the land of the Gadarenes in the case of Mark chapter 4, which is now in our own case. The boat, the ship in which Jesus and his disciples were in, riding and flying down to the land of the Gadarenes, was rocked by tempest and storm. And Jesus was at the lower cabin of the boat, sleeping. Nobody could see him. He was inside, he was inside the ship. Let me call it underground, right where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is right now. The underground, the dungeon of the DSS. And the boat was rocked. The storm, the tempest started hitting the boat because the devil saw that if he allowed this boat, this ship to sail successfully and ferry Jesus and his disciples to the land of the Gadarenes, that he is going to lose the control and the domination of that land. And there will be freedom. The same way they are attacking this boat, this ship, this mighty cargo supernatural ship, IPOB, that is carrying us and our master, Nnamdi Kanu. All of us, the disciples, all of us, those that believe in him, all the 12 disciples were in that very ship. And he was there too, to the land of Biafra. And the boat was rocked, the storm and the tempest. And that is why this exercise is geared towards calling out the master from the lower cabin of the ship, that he may rebuke the wind and the storm, that peace may reign, and that the boat will continue to sail to the shores of the Gadarenes to bring about liberation in that very land. Some of the disciples were bailing out the water. Some were calling the master to come out. Just like what some of us have been doing, including you and so many others. Some of us, we are doing exactly what the disciples of Yeshua, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, did in Mark chapter 4 and chapter 5. Bailing out water from the ship and also calling on the master to wake up, to come out and address the situation. And while waiting for the master to come out and address the situation, we should be doing something now, which may not be according to the stipulated principles of the structures of IPOB. I am still talking to everyone that is watching, including the international community, because I started by saying that they should forget about whatever that is happening among us. We are the generation that God has anointed to bring about this very last part of the prophecy I read to you now in Genesis 49 verse 19 about the victory of God. And I was trying to bring us home, to take us through track record, to understand that what I'm saying and what the Bible says is true. Because in the case of Jesus, it manifested. When Jesus came out, he rebuked the wind and he spoke to the wave. Because the wind, the resultant effect of the wind is the wave. Without the wind, the wave will not come. And he said, peace be still. And there was peace. And they sailed through to the land of the gatherings. And you know, that man that was possessed with demon, he came out and said, why have you come to torment us when it's not our time? We have not finished our business in the very land. The economic deprivations and the political asphyxiations that we are carrying out in the land of Biafra, we are not done. Why do you want to come and destroy us before our time? The demons in the man challenged Jesus that came to bring about that very liberation together with his disciples. The same way they are now challenging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, stopping him. They don't want him to come in because they believe they have not had enough fun. They believe it's not the right time. And Jesus cast out the demons, and the demons left the man, and there was restoration of that very land. That is it. In the time of Jesus, this very prophecy we have read now in the book of Genesis 49 verse 19, it came to pass. Now, in the time of Nigerian and Biafran war, troops also overcame God. We know about the troops that Queen Elizabeth sent to help Nigeria. We know about the Nigerian troops that fought the war against Biafrans, even though they told us there is no victor, no vanquish. But that very part of the prophecy manifested. Troops also overcame us, Biafrans, the offsprings of God, which is a confirmation of what Jacob said in this verse we read. Troops overcame us, 66 to 70. And he said, but God shall overcome at the last. Our life and story can never be complete without our victory. You must understand this. Gadites have been recording defeat in different battles and wars from time immemorial. And we are so privileged that we fell into the victorious time frame of God. That we are now in the last day that Jacob prophesied about, that we shall overcome at the last days. And this is the prophetic time frame for the victory of God, who we are his offsprings. And that is why there is nothing anybody upon the face of the earth will do. There is nothing Britain will do. There is nothing the conglomeration of nations will do to quieten our voices and silence the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that will work. It can never ever work. Because this very journey is being propelled from the realm of the spirit. They understand it very well. That anything that has its life, that derives its life, that stems from the spiritual, always prevail, always overcome all. So their observation is good. Whatever they are doing to make sure they are observing the economic sanctions and everything we are going to carry out as indigenous people to make sure that we possess our land and reclaim our sovereignty and enjoy this very victory that our progenitor prophesied. Jacob, we are going to do it. Mazi, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Pastor Maxwell. We are going to, in fact, this is not just a one-time broadcast. A lot of people are already suggesting that we have to be having you, every time, which I agree. I agree on that because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu need 100 men, and I promise God, or I beg God that before he come out, we are going to have more than 100 men waiting. That is, yes. And I can see the manifestation of that happening already with a lot of things that have happened, within this short period. So, I would want you to tell people, because, I have my own perspective why I think that if sit at home and order civil disobedience and economic sanction will be very effective. Like we have all seen, it is very effective. And, you know, another thing is that everybody is talking about sit at home, or we want to stop sit at home. Nobody is actually talking about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and about the reason why we are putting and making sure the sit at home continues until now. Until now that we have destroyed those who have been sabotaging the movement and who have been sabotaging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, until we destroy them, until God can take them away, because spiritually they are out of this struggle. Physically, they are already out. So it is just a matter of time. Nobody will hear about them again. So now that the government of Nigeria and these politicians have understand, they have come to realize that, and they could not they could not stop this, and they know what to, they know that so now that they have come to realize this, and they are mentioning for the very first time, they are talking about sit at home, and they mention the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they mention that they want to visit Buhari. They mention that, so for the very first time, all this while, all this month, when they want to talk about the sit at home, they never mention Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And we are wondering and worried, why are they not talking about the reason why people are sitting at home? But now they know that Nokwa Bagom Baranike. So can you tell us, can you tell the viewers that from your own perspective, tell us, what do you think? How do you think that the effect of this sit at home? Because they have lied to us. I have been able to explain, from my own understanding, what we believe that the sit at home will do, and of course, with other policies that we are going to bring to make sure that we move forward. So tell us, how does this sit at home affect? Now, you know that you as a pastor, the one that surprises us, me personally, is that you as a pastor, because Nigeria, the pastors, we know everybody, nobody want to joke with Sunday. So you have explained something that God will come to you to, because they may think that I am now revolting against Christianity and all that, which how the people think. So tell us, how does this this sit at home, how effective it is, and how does it affect the government?
Thank you very much. I would not like to share the script I promised I'm going to share, where I gave the prophecy that the sit-at-home suspension will not cross September. But for the purpose of for those who are watching, I am going to share it briefly for a few moments. Then you will hear by yourself. Then you will hear it. This was exactly when we were praying. I never planned, in our prayer room, and one of my members captured when I was praying. I never knew. And then this is it.
The very day, the Bible said that Pharaoh said, I will allow you to go, but not very far. But we are declaring this very day, the Biafra restoration shall go far. They are trying to place on it by truncating this very wonderful child of necessity that is called sit-at-home protest. Some of them don't know how come about the sit-at-home protest. By the special grace of God, I played a role in giving birth to this very wonderful spirit-oriented strategy, sit-at-home protest. How did it happen? When our people were being slaughtered during protest, when our people were being mowed down, when they were being illegally incarcerated and abducted, some of them enforced disappearances. I was crying. I have members. There are people under my leadership. I can't allow that to continue. Even if it has not happened to my member directly, I have conscience as a leader. I have conscience as a man of God. I have conscience as an individual that knows what is right and what is wrong. I said, no, these abductions has to stop. These killings has to stop. What should be the alternative? If our people stop protest, I was interacting with my spirit man. What I'm saying now was my interaction and discussion with my spirit man. I said, no, if our people stops this protest, the world will no longer hear what is going on. Are you hearing me, somebody?
Yes, sir.
If our people stop this very protest, because this very protest is what that attracts the attention of the world, that makes them to focus on what is happening on ground. It is the protest that gives our agitation voice. It is this very agitation, the protest. But then people were being killed at randomly, extrajudicial killings. And I said, no, it has to stop. But if the protest stops, it means we have been silenced. And I begin to ask God, what is the alternative? What is the alternative? Biafrans have lost so much people that they don't need to lose even one single soul again. Biafrans have died in millions. I was telling God, but then if this protest stops, then it means that we have been silenced. Let there be an alternative. I began to pray. I began to ask God, let there be an alternative. And before you know it, 30th of May, Heroes Remembrance Day, sit-at-home protest was introduced. And that was why in 2018, I personally covered it in my environment. I personally took camera. I went around. I held camera. I went around because I saw it as the manifestation of the prayers I've been praying together with some of our team, our members, that God should bring an alternative that will replace that very protest of coming out and being killed. And then sit at home became that very child of necessity, and it became so more powerful. Even the other protest has not been as powerful as the sit at home, because this sit at home talks about the selflessness of the people. Yes. This sit at home talks about that our people have abandoned their selfishness, they have abandoned materialism, and they are now hungry for freedom. To lock up your shop, to refuse to go to work, to stay back in the house because you are looking for freedom, is one of the greatest signs that you have reached that very position that selfishness is no longer in you, materialism is no longer in you. You need freedom. Sit at home. Every shop, every office under lock and key. Sit at home. Very effective and powerful. And since then, it has been yielding great result. Up to the 9th of August, the whole world reported it. And then all of a sudden, we are hearing that it's suspended. We are hearing that Nnamdi Kanu said. But before the suspension, remember that in less than 24 hours of that very sit at home, the younger brother announced that the sit at home protest is going to be suspended because of NECO exam. Has Nnamdi Kanu not been aware that there are students in Nigeria, there are students in Biafra land? Has he not been aware that people go to business and go to work? Have we not been aware all this while? And we have been carrying out the sit-at-home protest, and they have been complying. And this very point, our people don't need to be forced anymore. They complied with all their hearts. And then they said, Nnamdi Kanu said. Whatever Nnamdi Kanu may have said is based on the information that were given to him. Yes. He doesn't have television, he doesn't have phone, he doesn't have laptop, he doesn't have access to the internet. He depends on those that visit him for information. And it is based on the information they give to him that he will act upon. That forms his basis of certain decisions. For him to have said, according to what they said, that the sit-at-home protests have been suspended, I doubt it very much. It is based on distorted information. I cannot speak in favor or against anybody. I don't have that time. I am saying what I am led to say. This very sit at home is a divine strategy. Nnamdi Kanu is a spiritual man. Many people of God, many children of God all over the world have been praying that this very sit at home continues, because we have been seeing the results. And then all of a sudden, just to please the Nigerian government, just for NECO exam, whatever be the reason. And then they say he said, without giving any alternative. How can you believe that? And so I am praying, if this very sit-at-home protest that is being suspended today is as a result of the handiwork of the enemy, if this very sit-at-home protest that has been suspended, the same Nnamdi Kanu said, if it is the handiwork of manipulation, if it is the handiwork of those that want to elongate the freedom of Biafra, if it is an orchestration of the wicked in order to keep Nnamdi Kanu in detention, it shall not exceed September. Amen. I decree this very day, all the people that have been using this very agitation, all this agitation, this very
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much, Mazi, Simon Ekpa, and our viewers. You had it. The mark of a prophet is that whatever he says comes to pass. That is the mark of a prophet. I purposely didn't want to interrupt it because I wanted the world to get the message again clearly on this platform. There is nothing I need to elaborate coming from that very video. You had it when I said it. That if it is as a result of the handiwork of the enemy, that it will not exceed, it will not cross September. And on the 24th of September, they gave up. Now, we don't need evidence everywhere that if you're talking about economic sanction, it is long overdue. We shouldn't be we should be implementing it as at last 2 years or last year.
Yes.
So I don't want to go into much dissecting of it. No, we have done enough. We have done enough talking and talking.
Yes.
If you are talking about civil disobedience, this video the world watched now is another confirmation that this civil disobedience in this version of sit-at-home protest in Biafra land is divine, is potent. I don't know how we're going to explain it. I don't know. We have seen the evidence. We have seen the results. We have seen that this is one measure that affects both the mighty and the low, that makes the governors to cry. You heard the voice of lamentation of Omahe as you read it to us here.
Yes.
He mentioned the same sit-at-home. You heard it in the video. I was explaining how this sit-at-home was born. This is not about taking credit. I took it upon myself. I was the first person to call for the first general prayer for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he was abducted in 2015. I was the first, fasting and prayers every Saturday. We kept praying for him for 18 good months. 18. Every Saturday of the week, 4 p.m., we pray. We fast and pray in the day. In the evening, we summarize it. Send people to Iguachan precisely in Dube. Ask the IPOB coordinator, Iguachan. He will tell you. We are praying. 21st of October, 2015. That was when the prayer started. Every Saturday, after hearing that breaking news that he has been arrested in Lagos, I announced prayer. Everything that I'm appearing on your platform or I'm appearing before the camera today talking, it's not that it may be they will just want to come and do show. No. Anybody God has ordained for certain assignment who has been carrying it out, God knows how to, from stage to stage, take him to higher assignments and offices to deliver. It's not dragging, it's not position, it's not whatever you may call it. That prayer lasted for 18 good months until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was released. That prayer changed my system, my body system, my appetite. That up to now, I find it very difficult to eat on Saturdays. It affected me. God helped us, sustained us against all odds until he was released. Now, when he was in detention, the street protest was going on in Biafra land. As I explained in that video, our people were being abducted, our people were being killed, and it affected me psychologically and emotionally. And as a leader, I began to pray for God to bring an alternative. And in the course of that prayer, sit-at-home was born. That is why, look at all the whole strategy, all the whole press release, all the whole antagonism against sit-at-home protest. It has not stopped. Because it's a child of necessity born on the altar of prayers. And anything that has its life in the spiritual, you cannot just kill it with a physical measure. You can never, ever do it. Sit at home. I am going to explain autopilot. I've explained it to some people, my audience, during some of my broadcasts some time ago. Last month, I have done it. When they came with the suspension, as you heard in that video, and I prayed, the world is watching now. that if it is the handiwork of the enemy, the suspension will not cross September. And the prophecy came to pass. They couldn't suspend it. They couldn't stop it. That was when it entered autopilot. And that was where your statement came from. After that very time that our people refused to comply with the suspension, and they were trying to a kind of stage war of words with our people.
Yes.
Trying to see who is going against the structure, the command and control, the chain of command. Not knowing where this sit at home came from, spiritual.
Yes.
And then they couldn't control the people anymore because it is divine. They couldn't stop it. It now entered autopilot. What is autopilot? Something occurring on its own. Something happening on its own. Just like when you are the person, if you are the person that sets your clock to wake you up, your alarm to wake you up by 5 p.m. or 3 p.m., whatever time every day. If you do it over a period of time, 1 week or 2 weeks, your subconsciousness is going to be registered in your subconsciousness. That even when you don't remember to set your alarm, you are going to wake up exactly that very time. Your subconscious mind, that very consciousness has been created in you, stored, registered in your brain box, in your subconsciousness. That even without setting the alarm, when it is that time, you're going to wake up. That is autopilot. That is what it is. The sit-at-home protest entered autopilot in the sense that our people doesn't need press release anymore to observe it or not observe it. And some of them were saying, oh, Simon Ekpa said that the leadership is now autopilot. Oh, the leadership, IPOB has no leadership. Nobody is in charge. Meanwhile, this is about the sit-at-home protest, and it's within that time that that statement came out. I watched it. I watched it on one of your platforms where you made that statement.
Yes.
And because they didn't want to listen to clarifications or explanations because their minds were biased, they began to drum it in the ears of people that, oh, Simon Ekpa said that IPOB doesn't have leadership again. That is now autopilot. Whereas it was a reference to the lack of compliance of our people with the suspension of the sit-at-home protest. They now generalized it. And now they name autopilot, which is quite unfortunate. Whether it is autopilot that IPOB has no leadership or not, you must prove it. To say that you are the leader is beyond mere words. I'm a leader. There are so many projects in our church I've been able to accomplish single-handedly. When I discovered that the followership were dragging me backwards. Since 2020, we have not raised money in our church. I stopped fundraising. I stopped it. Who will give us 10,000? Come out and sow seed. Who will give us 20,000, 100,000? We have a project. Come and help us. Because I discovered the psychology that the devil infused in our members. And it became a burden and a temptation. And I said, no, I'm not going to focus on it. I am going to devise strategy as a leader. The ball now stocks at my table. I have to know how to go about it. It's not to be going about complaining or calling them stingy members. And by the grace of God, we've been carrying out very significant projects without raising money in the church. It is leadership. One of the things that makes you a peculiar human being and a peculiar leader is your ability to think outside the box and diversify. Exactly. And when you are busy thinking and trying to find out the way forward to show leadership, you will never engage in the back and forth of whether autopilot is correct or is not correct or breaking of chain of command. If somebody comes and break the chain that you are holding, that means you are careless. If someone comes and this is chain of command, in the absence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I don't want to mention names now. There is someone that should be in charge. There is an institution that should be in charge.
Yes.
Now, if you are not in charge, that means the chain will be broken. Just like Jesus said that when men slept, the enemy came and sowed tares. In summary, economic sanction, civil disobedience is long overdue. Now, the mass street protest in diaspora by Biafrans, which Governor Dave Omahe was trying to say, oh, if it is in the diaspora, hunger will kill them if they do sit-at-home protest. What God told me, and I've explained this several times and on this platform, is mass street protest, not sit-at-home in the diaspora. Street protest. The sit-at-home protest is for Biafra land, because the prayer I made that gave birth to sit-at-home was for Biafra land. This is not something that somebody will just come out and give press statement and say people should do this or do that. So the sit-at-home protest in Biafra land should continue. Now, Sundays, I have shown example. Our church has shown very clear examples. Some people have called me several times asking me for address that they want to come to worship with us on Sunday. My viewers and my followers online, they say, man of God, we want to come to your church and worship. I kept telling them, please, for now, January, February, March, we are not having any Sunday service. And they were like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? A church, a pastor, on Sunday we don't hold service? Given the economic situations of Nigeria, that many people want to come to church on Sunday for prayers, for miracles. And also, what is the prevalent mindset of every average man of God in Nigeria? That they cannot do without coming to church on Sunday for tithe and offering, which many people have been condemning. Even some of them watching now, they have been condemning it. All these so-called pastors, all these fake pastors, they cannot support Nnamdi Kanu. They are against Biafra because of tithe and offering. But the same people have not seen Maxwell with him. The same people have not seen our church. And since this exercise started, these same people, most of them IPOB principal officers, they have seen this very 3 months exercise going on since January and February, that we have been locking up our churches. We have not been holding Sunday services, not in pretense, in reality. Yet, they don't want to support the exercise by sharing it, by streaming it on their platforms. The hypocrisy is quite confusing and complicated. The sit-at-home has come to stay. Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, according to this very guideline. It is powerful. It is potent. I know there are people sometimes they may say, oh, the 5 days for the month of March is too much. The same way they complained when it was only Monday. The most important thing is, let us begin from somewhere. We have already started. What we have to do is to advance. When you have done something once or twice or thrice, and you have seen the result, it is always natural to increase it if the result is in the positive. It's a common logic. It is. If we have been doing sit-at-home protest on Mondays and it has been working, we are seeing the result. And God says, increase it. Who wouldn't want to increase profit in his business, in his transaction? Who wouldn't want to do that? The protests have been yielding incredible results on Mondays. And God said, increase it. Why are some of our people indifferent about it? When you know that it is yielding a very powerful result already.
Yes.
It's making the oppressor cry. It is making them to beg. Look at Dave Omahe for the first time. The chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum. Look at him. He is occupying a very strategic political position in the region.
Yes. Yes.
And he has made, forget about the unknown gunmen he's talking about. That is just, politics.
Yes.
The point is the economic sanction that you have already warned them that is coming,
Yes.
which
is
I've been
coming.
talking about. Yes, imminently. and it should come like last year, as I said before.
Yes.
And also the sit-at-home protest that is ongoing already. These are potent exercises. Potent. We don't need to think about it. We have to start implementing. We have wasted a whole lot of times by trying to consider those that are actually clogs on our wheel of progress. We have to start. We have to. And this will force them to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If our people get mesmerized by this very press release of Dave Omahe and go back to their houses and fold their hands and say, oh, they are doing something about it, they will lose it. Just like the eve of Anambra election. The eve of Anambra election, 6th, that they, called off the lockdown with the hope that there is a political solution that will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And we have not seen anything out of it. Let them not look at the statement of Dave Omahe. And then I said, okay, hence they are talking about it. He wants to meet Buhari. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released very soon. Okay, let us not.
Pastor. No. You know that our own, we don't. They know what we were going to do. They know, some of them, they know us very well. So we are not those who you will promise something and we listen. No, we have our eyes on the ball.
We want to see it. Not we have gone past that very time of promises.
Exactly.
And that was exactly what I said in the guideline of this 3 months exercise. That no press release will stop it. No broadcast will stop it. No promise from any political leader will stop it. That all we want to see is the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If they release him in January, we stop. Not, oh, we are discussing with the presidency. It's just remaining a few things. We are, very soon. No. In February, if they fail to release him, we are moving straight ahead to the month of March with this same exercise.
Yes.
No negotiation no round table of negotiation.
We don't have any room for that.
Whether on Zoom, offline, through phone call, anywhere, no. What we want to see is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been released.
Yes.
That's all.
That's all.
That's not that. Go ahead.
Yes. Now, Pastor, you know that with the latest development, because they know they have come to realize now that the other people, that they were hoping on to silence the Biafrans, they have failed, and they know that new sheriffs are in town now. New sheriffs
exactly
are in town now. So I want you to see the turnaround of everything. I want to play this video to you. One moment for everybody to listen.
Okay.
Citizen whose industry contributes meaningfully to the nation's GDP. Mr. President, sir, this is not one of those appeals orchestrated by people to lend their voices. For it's common in our climb for people to urge celebrities and popular people to lend their voices to national issues or a growing concern. I am not lending a voice, sir. I am deeply pained by the loss of lives, wanton killings, and general insecurity in the land. The Southeast Geographical Zone is under siege. Someone may tell you it's what they brought onto themselves. As a son reporting to you, unofficially, every Monday is a sit-at-home, and every other day Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is to appear in court. Your Excellency, Mr. President, the sit-at-home is very effective. Even government vehicles are off the road. Economic activities, sir, are paralyzed. Not good to be told otherwise, sir. The negative impact of this may be seen as only affecting the region, but Your Excellency, sir, it has a rippling effect on the entire nation's economy. Your Excellency, you are the father of the nation, with numerous sons and daughters, including Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Sir, the buck stops at your table. I know and I appreciate that Nnamdi Kanu's case is before the courts, and you usually do not like to interfere with court cases. But at this stage of heightened tensions in our country, it is no longer enough to say that the matter is in court. You're a president with executive powers. My appeal, sir, Biko, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's my 60th birthday appeal. Thank you, sir, and God bless you. And there will Your Excellency.
That is something you never heard before. And so when we tell them that the game have changed, we are not just saying it by our mouth, okay? It is spiritual. And like everybody have said, and like you have mentioned, like we have always been saying, that what you don't know is bigger than you. I told them that from the 1st of March, the new dimension will come, and this is what is going on now. So, Pastor, over to you.
I am really, really excited. You know why I'm excited is because when you are on the right path and witnesses and evidences comes around to prove it, you are vindicated and you are always very, very happy. Not that they paid you money, no. Not that you won lottery, no. When there is vindication, when there is confirmation that you are on the right path, there is nothing as more thrilling and fulfilling as it. That the same people who were crying blood from their eyes, asking us so many questions when this very sit-at-home was introduced. How can Igbo man lock his shop? You remember that was the first questions they were asking us.
Yes.
How can an Igbo man that loves money so much lock his shop and sit at home? It will never happen. Now they are begging us to stop. That is when the right people do the right thing.
Yeah.
Not the wrong people. Everybody cannot carry out every task. There are people that have certain virtues to carry out certain tasks and assignments. We are the generation. Master Simon, I said, it is long overdue. And remember the analysis I made a few minutes ago before you play the clip.
Yes.
That if you have used a method, a strategy, you have applied it in your business or what you're doing, and you see the results, you see the difference, you see the margin of the results, very positive and huge. Is it not wise? Is it not common sense that you increase it? Is it not?
All right, Pastor, let us go on commercial so you can sip some water and then all that, and we can begin to round up after that. So we are going to go on commercial now. Okay? All right.
It's okay. Thank you very much.
In this broadcast today, we are going to call on the politicians in Biafra land to pull out every military formation from Biafra land. We do not want to see military anymore gallivanting and killing people in our villages, in our communities. We will bring this particular war not to the military, but to those who are responsible in bringing those military to them, to our place. So we are today giving notice to the politicians who have now militarized our territory. They have turned democratic process and democratic government into a military dictatorship. They have turned Biafra into a war zone. So we are giving them between now and the 15th of March to pull out military from Biafra land. We are not saying you should leave your barracks. We are not saying, but you must be out of our villages. We do not want to see military operation anywhere in Biafra land, starting from the 15th of March 2022. Starting from the 15th of March 2022, if we see any military going around and burning any houses, we will bring war to those who bring them, not only the military.
27 February 2022. These people, they don't have any other option than to surrender. We know that it's the Fulani herdsmen that are supposed to carry cow, they waka. Now they don't drop the cow, carry gun. Go and kick bazaar. How much Zoological Republic of Nigeria. That's it. They happen for Russia and Ukraine. So Enterbiafra and Biafra. And boys, a question go. Other Biafra or there too.
From the 15th of this month, if you continue to come and kill our children, kill our women, kill our men and our elderly people, render them homeless, and create IDP camp where there are not supposed to be IDP camp in the 21st century, we are going to bring the war to those who were bringing this military and who ordered them to come to our land. And we know who you are. So we want the politicians between now and the 15th of March to sit up and put Biafra land in order. We don't want to see any kind of chaos anymore in Biafra, except that you want the war to continue in Biafra land after the 15th of this month, and there is no concrete arrangement to pull the military out of our land. We will bring war to every politician in Biafra land, starting from the House of Assembly to the state governors.
Sometimes I start asking myself, why is it that anytime they ask them to go and fight Boko Haram, they will say they don't have bullet, they don't have bomb, they don't have this and that. But if it is a time to fight innocent civilians, they will have bomb, they will have bullet, everything double. Nigeria. Huh? Nigeria more now go north tonight. And I think with the beginner for this time, it doesn't matter how many years it may take to fight this war.
We are calling on the governors, we are calling on House of Assembly members, we are calling on those state executives to come openly before the 15th of March to either exonerate themselves or take responsibility like Uzodima have come publicly to say he is the one bringing military. So his goal is that he has made it very clear, and we know how to get him at the end of the day when the time comes. So we are saying that we are giving the politicians and the political leaders of the Southeast between now and the 15th of March to pull military out of Biafra land. Otherwise, we are not just going to take this war to them, we will start from there.
No python dance can stop us. No zoo forces can stop us. We are resolute, we are determined to get Biafra. Sit down at home on that particular day. If we see you moving around, you are your own.
Your freedom is in your hands. It is going to be fought inch by inch, block by block. Rooster by rooster. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. Your freedom is in
welcome back, Pastor Maxwell. I believe you have taken some drink and all that.
Yes, I've done so. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
All right. So, you've explained a lot. And when you listen and watch the video of that Kanayo, he also mentioned that this sit at home don't affect only the Southeast alone. And that's the mistake some people, of course, it's not a mistake because they don't know what they are doing. During the time of any sit at home, there is no vehicular movement from any part of Nigeria to the Southeast. So it affects the entire 36 state of Nigeria. So,
Exactly.
and I believe people should begin to understand that when they say economy, Southeast, it is not Southeast.
It's not.
It's affecting the entire Nigeria is on standstill for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and for Biafra. That is what people don't know. But these political leaders will come to lie that it is Southeast.
It's only Southeast.
Every Monday, and now we are going to Sunday, and we continue to preach the Sunday until it comes into effective completely.
Yes.
But for now, every Monday, nobody will travel from Lagos to Southeast. Nobody will travel from Kaduna. Nobody will travel from Abuja. Not even flight.
Yes.
You understand it? So it is completely the entire Nigeria. And this is about, control. Losing the integrity and the mandate of the people. It means that the Southeast, the Biafra people, have taken their mandate back.
Exactly.
From the leaders.
Yes.
And it is sending a very strong message. So people should know the importance of this civil disobedience. It means that you are already taking your Biafra by yourself.
Exactly.
It means you're already telling them that the power belongs to you.
Exactly.
And even Kanayo, he said, even the government, they also
vehicles.
Yes,
they don't move out. Civil servants. This is not just trying to, influence some people or trying to paint it real. It is not making up anything. It is not. Do you know, even inside the villages, they observe it is those of them in the rural areas who depends on farm, going to do job, clear bush for somebody, and then they will pay them or give them yam to go and eat. They even observe the sit-at-home protest. One of the days, I was going for a humanitarian service at Izombe in Imo State, Uguta local government, after the military invasion of that very community, Umuoko in Aboshi Autonomous Community, Uguta in Izombe, Imo State. I went there to conduct interview by myself on the victims of that very military carnage. I sent a message across, and then I went there with a member of my team to do on-the-spot analysis and fact findings of who are actually the victims of that military invasion. You know about it now at Uguta. Yes. When I announced my coming, my visit, did you know that they told me don't come that very day? Monday. After Sunday service in our church, that was last year now, but then we have not started this Sunday sit at home. I told them I'll be coming the next day, be Monday. They told me, Pastor, please don't come home. We are sitting at home. These people know that I was coming to provide some help for them. Humanitarian service, to buy them foodstuffs, toiletries, whatever, and money to help them because their houses were burnt down to the ground. Yet they said, don't come on Monday. I know you are coming. I am not making it up. People that know me knows that I say the truth the way they are. They told me that they're observing the sit-at-home protest to the extent that they were not even eager to receive whatever I will be coming with.
On Monday.
They said I should come the next day, that they're observing.
Wow.
And we went there 2 times in partnership with some of our people, my partners. We went there with food items, we bought yams, we distributed it, detergent, money, rice, and all that. We preached to them. All the videos are also published on my YouTube channel, Maxwell, including the interviews. These people, they know what we are talking about. They are hungry for freedom. They have seen it with their eyes, the deprivations and brutality, that they are now in full compliance. So I wonder why anybody will now begin to fight against people's will, which they have submitted to you. You were craving for it before. You were praying for their compliance before. You were begging them to comply before, to help us facilitate and fast track the restoration of Biafra. And now they are giving you the compliance, civil disobedience, which is very potent and powerful. And now you are fighting against the people. That cannot work. We will continue with the sit-at-home protest. And I'm begging everyone, regardless their religious affiliations or denomination or church dogma or doctrines, every church, every man of God, every man that holds a leadership position in a church, that the church hears his or her voice, I am begging you in the name of the Lord God Almighty that we serve, you have to comply with the Sunday sit-at-home protest. I have said it before. I am going to share only 2 scriptures. Only 2 scriptures on this. And I believe we may proceed with the conclusion of the interview. One is from the Old Testament. I'm going to share 2 scriptures. One from the Old Testament, one from the New Testament. This is for churches. This is for the Ezes. This is for the political leaders. This is for those that are highly placed. They are all involved. They must be involved in this sit-at-home. If you're a Biafran, if you're from the South, it doesn't matter your belief. You must be involved. And the other one is for churches in the New Testament. Let me take the one for everybody. Daniel chapter 6. Daniel chapter 6. I am going to read from the verse 16. Please, our audience should pay very close attention. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, thy God, whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. And God will deliver Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. God will surely deliver him. It does not matter the conspiracy surrounding his extraordinary rendition. God, whom he is serving in this Biafra restoration project, will surely deliver him.
Amen.
The king went on to say, God, whom you serve, will deliver you. 17. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, with his own seal, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. That's the same thing that is playing out in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They don't want the purpose to be changed. The purpose for which Daniel was cast into the lion's den was for him to be consumed right inside the lion's den by the lions. That is the purpose. And they sealed the mouth of the lion that he can never come out, that the purpose cannot be changed. The same way, they don't want the purpose to be changed in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But me and you, we are here to change it. And that very evil and destructive purpose of theirs against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be changed. With our civil disobedience, with our economic sanctions, it must be changed. Verse 18. Look at what happened here. Very important. Everybody must pay attention. Look at the verse 18 of the same Daniel chapter 6. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. After Capital Oil, P2B, Obi Kubana, All the great, the high and the mighty, the highly placed in the society. This is a great lesson for every one of you. This king, he went back to his palace after Daniel was cast into the lion's den. He was fasting for him. Fasting. This was a hidden king. This very king is not of the same belief, religious view with Daniel. Yet, he had conscience. Yet, he knew that it was wrong for Daniel to have been cast into the lion's den. He had no sin, no error. The only error, the only fault they found in him was that he did not comply with the law of the king that was against his faith, his belief, his conviction. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have refused to comply with British, have refused to comply with every Eurocentric laws and principles and posture that is against the sovereignty of Biafra. That's why they cast him into the dungeon in Abuja. That's why they cast Daniel right there inside the den of the lion, because he refused to comply with them. What did the king do? Number one, he went back to his palace after Daniel has been cast into the lion's den, and the king was fasting. It is clearly recorded here in the Bible. He passed the night fasting. He went home. That is sit at home. He went back to his palace. That is sit at home. And he was fasting. He passed the night fasting. That is fasting. That is protest. Sit at home. He didn't go somewhere else. He went back to the house. Now, other things that will prove to you that the king actually protested, I am going to read them in the next clause. Listen. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. The instruments of music that they normally play to entertain him, the dancers come and dance, the virgins, the prostitutes come and dance around, and the king drink and all that. The Bible said that the king did not do any of that after Daniel was cast into the lion's den. That is protest. When you refuse to do what you used to do before out of anger, it is protest. When you refuse to do, the things you used to do, either for your children or your children refuse to do what they used to do for you before as their father or their parents due to one or two problems or misunderstanding, that is protest. When workers say, no, we are not going to come to work again, except you increase our minimum wage or you implement that very law, that is protest. The king refused music and entertainment in the palace. That is protest. He went back to the palace and he was fasting. He passed the night fasting for Daniel. And that was why in the verse 19, he was the first to go to the lion's den. He was so anxious of Daniel. He was so consumed. He was so encumbered. He was so concerned with the welfare of Daniel in the lion's den. He never slept. That is protest. He went to the lion's den. And when you read the next verses, you will see the speech of the king when he discovered that Daniel was alive, that he didn't die in the lion's den. And he proclaimed that the God of Daniel should be the God that everyone will serve. The next, this scholar from Stone Cold, I'm live on air, please. The next scripture I'm going to read now is from the book of Acts. I have given the kings their own, all our traditional rulers, your fellow king. In Daniel, look at it there. Your fellow, you see where's there? It's an actual bottle. And you are sleeping in your palace. And our Daniel is in the lion's den. You are sleeping. You are a 1 day. You have to stop it. As I said yesterday and today, every one of you that feel you are not concerned with what is going on with Nnamdi Kanu, try and go to the diaspora Nigeria. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Nobody will touch you. Go when you get there and you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, be it known to you that you are seeing your future there. You are seeing your dignity there. You are seeing your human rights there. In the form and in the shape of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because that is what he represents. That is exactly what he represents. And then we must go to the book of Acts, chapter 12. The book of Acts, chapter 12, is in the New Testament. This is for those that claim that they know the Bible more than us. Those that read the Bible, they turn it upside down. Those that want to practice a very convenient Christianity, they think that, oh, the will of God should be convenient. You can remote control God and remote control the will of God. You know, any verse of the Bible that is calling you to make a sacrifice that is selfless, that you will not benefit anything. No, no, no. That one is in the Old Testament. No, 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 no. We are now under grace. And anyone that will benefit you in the Old Testament, you will switch over to it. No. Serving God is unconditional. Let me show you a very clear example of what the early church did. The same early church and apostles that handed over the Judeo-Christianity to us, which many of them are not practicing today. I'm going to show you what they did. I am going to show you what they did. Acts chapter 12. I am going to read from verse 1 for a better understanding. Now, about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church. 2. And he killed James, the brother of John, with a sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. Verse 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in the prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Verse 5. Peter therefore was kept in the prison, but prayers was made without ceasing, without stopping, no break of the church, by the church, unto God for him. Unto God for him. Now, look at the verse. Look at the verse 10. When they were past the first and the second gate, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them of its accord, and they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. That is what happens when the church do the right thing. There is mighty deliverance of the captive when the church rises up to do the right thing. Did very matter the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I am accusing many churches that have refused to comply with this. They are culpable. In the court of heaven, they are complacent. They are accomplices. As they prayed together, I will show you that they sat at home. I will show you in the following verses that the church actually sat at home. No Sunday service, no church service, no activity because of Peter. An angel went in and released him. Now, look at verse 12. And when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the house, not in the church. He came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. They sat at home in someone's house. They sat at home in the house of Mary, the mother of John Mark. They were not in the church praying. They were not on the altar praying. They were not in the prayer team room praying. No. They sat at home. It was not in a religious gathering. No, not in a crusade. Some will say, oh, we are, as the church is running, we are remembering Nnamdi Kanu in prayer. No, we know you are remembering him, but sit at home for good. Practice what is in the word of God. This is New Testament. This very act of the apostles now. They handed over the Judeo-Christianity to us. Look at the footsteps and the examples. It was not a revival program that they were praying for Peter. No. They sat in the house of Mary, the mother of John Mark. You can see it there, right in the verse 12 of chapter 12 of Acts. They gathered there. They sat at home. and they were fasting and praying for Peter. No evangelism, no church activities. Verse 13, and as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken named Rhoda. I'm going to stop there because of time. It is very crystal clear. Did you know, Mazi Simon, the Spirit of God didn't elaborate this scripture to me until we started this exercise.
Wow.
You know, there are certain things that God takes you deeper into its understanding and perspectives when you're obedient. Some people want to hear and understand everything before they start. That is the problem. There is nothing that slows progress and adventure. There is nothing that slows progress and advancement than perfectionism, trying to understand everything perfectly before you do it. No, no. This is a spiritual thing. All you need is obedience. Allow the spirit of humility and obedience to guide you. And as you move in the path, as you are progressing in it, as you are practicing it and implementing it, there will be the broadening of your understanding, deeper insights that God will be releasing to you, that will stun you, that will amaze you. It was in the course of this exercise I went back to this very act. I said, God, what is it that these people did? Because they're accusing me that I'm against the church, forgetting that I'm a pastor of a church. They are accusing me that I'm against pastors, forgetting that I'm a pastor. They are accusing me of so many things, forgetting that also that offering, I need it for the work of God. That tithe, we also need it as a church for the work of God. And that I'm also affected. And God began to expose it to me. It was then I discovered that these people actually protested and they sat at home. And you can say it in that verse 12 of chapter 12, that the people gathered in their house at home, not in church. And they were praying for Peter. Everything was put on hold because Peter was the leader of the church at the time. The destiny of that very generation of church was on him. He was carrying them. The same way that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not only the leader of Biafrans, every man of God that is a Biafran, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is your leader. They must understand it, for goodness sake. The same way that there were so many people that know about the God of Abraham in the time of Moses, God bypassed all of them and picked Moses, who was born in the land of Egypt. You don't question God in his decisions. You don't question God in his purpose. God is God. Anything he decides and purposes in his heart is what he will do. Allow him. Let his will prevail. You are still going to make the money from your church. You are still going to run your programs. After Peter was released, the church went back to work. The church went back to services. The church went back to all their programs. And they progressed. I appealed to them in that very video of the guideline, yet it fell on deaf ears. And I'm still using this platform and opportunity to talk to them again. They have had it from the word of God, not me talking. From the Old Testament to the book of Daniel, we have read it. From the New Testament, we have read it. You have no more excuse. I rest my case.
Thank you very much, Pastor Maxwell. Believe me, Biafra people, over 15,000 people are watching this thing now, live and direct on our platform alone, apart from other people that hooked up on this platform. And we have been blessed by your immense contribution, input, word of wisdom, word from God, and the prophecies as well. I must say that, you have a slot on Voice of Biafra. So as soon as it is complete and we have it on all state, you are going to be talking on Voice of Biafra any day, anytime you want to go on air. You just let us know and you'll be live on Voice of Biafra. Yes.
Thank you very, very much, Master Simon. Thank you. Thank you. And may the Lord bless you. May God bless you. I think it's not my last, my vote of thanks. I think it's not my closing remark. I think
you can make a closing remark. You can make a closing remark, but remember that I will be knocking at your door. So any day I knock at your door for a new topic, we are going to be here.
It's okay. It's okay. Thank you very, very much, our viewers. Thank you, every one of you that have made this very broadcast and this very interview to be a success. Thank you, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Thank you. It was for such a time as this that God gave you this very privilege and opportunity to be here with us. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu announced that you're one of the people to be listening to. I want to thank you immensely for all your efforts so far that have yielded very good and uncommon results. And moving forward, please never ever deviate. I am saying the same thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told you some time ago. I am pleading with you. Please, 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 never, ever, ever continue.
Why is everybody warning me? I am not going to deviate.
Please, please, because what we are doing, yes, what we are doing will outlive us.
Yes.
This broadcast we have, this interview today will outlive us. The video will never die. Your platform's the same. We are leaving legacy behind. We are the pathfinders in this very generation. That others that are coming behind us will follow this path of sincerity, forthrightness, and straightforwardness. Lack of compromise, no matter what. And I want to thank everyone that are working with you. It is not easy, the battles you are fighting and you're facing. Yes. I want to thank all of them, your admins and every one of them. And of course, all those working with me as well, praying for me, those of you being so supportive. I want to thank everyone. And I want to thank the Most High God, and I want to pray. Father, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, we thank you for this privilege of coming to your presence on this very platform, oh God, to discuss about issues that are of great importance to your people, which is also central in your last days' expectations and purpose, which is the restoration of Biafra. We thank you for the arrowhead of this movement, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has been held down in the DSS dungeon in Abuja, Nigeria. Blessed Father, may your ears be open and attentive to all our prayers, both the prayers in the time past, the prayers we have made today, and the ones we are going to make every other day. Lord, we pray that you're granting speedy deliverance, oh God. Never tarry, because the mouth of the wicked is open to speak widely and proudly, mocking at us. Blessed Father, never allow them. We thank you, oh God, for preserving him and keeping him alive to this very point in time. We pray for his anything that has gone wrong with his health, let them be restored. We pray, oh God in heaven, that to protect and preserve him. The air he will breathe can never be polluted. The water he will drink can never be poisoned. The food Mazi Nnamdi Kanu we eat can never ever be poisoned. Whoever that rises against him, oh God in heaven, they shall all fall into shame and disgrace. Blessed Father, expose every hidden secret behind this extraordinary rendition and incarceration. Lord, we decree every court proceedings beginning from this very moment, this month, moving forward, every evil plan and evil judgment that they are carrying on their evil wombs to deliver against him, we abort each and every one of them and decree that they are aborted and terminated in the realm of the spirit. Lord, in the book of Micah chapter 5 verse 12, every witchcraft that is in the hands of the wicked, manipulating the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in so many ways, let those witchcraft powers be cut off. Let those that cast spells over his court dates and court sittings, over his case and his life, may they be cut off and destroyed in Biafra land, wherever they are. Let their spells over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never work anymore from today moving forward. Blessed Father, everyone that is working for his release, everyone that is sincerely fighting for the release of Biafra, oh God in heaven, every platform, including this very platform of Mazi Simon Ekpa and every other person, I pray, may your grace abound. May their resources never run dry to continue on this great work they are doing, oh God in heaven. I pray for wisdom, I pray for understanding. As many that rise against them out of jealousy, as many that are into blackmailing of their platforms and their persons, may they all be put to shame. Let the truth they are standing for and defending prevail at the end of the day. Thank you, blessed Father, for answering our prayers. In the name of Yeshua we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Pastor, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are just too blessed today to have you, and we are looking forward to have you again.
Thank you very much.
And
Pleasure
also,
is all mine.
yes, also, if you don't mind, can you before you just leave, can you share your screen, your channel on YouTube, so that I will ask our people to follow you, so they can also get blessed as they follow and listen to you every now and then. So please share your screen so that they can know your channel. Thank you.
Okay, I will do so. So this is my channel, as you can see on the screen.
I need to refresh. Let me refresh because I can't even see you. One moment.
Okay.
A lot of people, are pairing this broadcast, and it is somehow affecting the system. So,
okay.
So I'm going to. I don't know if I remove you now. Is it if I remove you from pairing? Is it going to stop the broadcast?
No, I don't think so.
I think okay, you can try to share it now. All right.
Okay. Let me try it again. Okay.
But I can't hear you anyway.
I'm
right.
hearing you. Hearing you loud and clear. It
Pastor
has come up. Yeah.
Maxwell Nwawihe is just 3,500 subscribers. So I want over 3,000 people. We have over 4,000 watching now. We want to see that at least additional 3,000 subscribers goes to this channel now or immediately after the broadcast. We want to see additional 3,000 subscribers on this channel so we can continue to follow and listen to him. So additional 3,000 should go to this channel and subscribe and follow him as well. The gospel of Biafra and the redemption, freedom of our people must be preached, and we must support anybody preaching it. So if you know that you are watching, please go to this channel, Maxwell Nwawihe, and subscribe. We want to see at least additional 3,000 this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
I can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself? You know, I refreshed.
It's not muted. So it's not muted.
No, check the setting. They may be hearing you, but I'm not hearing you, at least because of this pairing. So I will remove. I will